That's what their coaching staff wants them to do. Get it up on the rim, and then we'll let our big guys go rebound it. So they're a confident group. Milos is, transferred from Oklahoma, is having a really solid year for them. And then the three bigs have been fantastic, led by Roberts. But to your point, these two are really good shot makers, especially at the end of the clock. Mm-hmm. We got to be able to guard our yard, guard our man at the end of the clock.
You touched on it with the look at their front court. We'll close right there. Roberts, Tugler, maybe not the tallest guys, but physical. Speak to the job they do on the glass. And then I imagine this is a game where you'd love to have KJ's strength. So what do guys have to do in the absence of KJ against a physical front court like that?
We need to play big, and we need to play physical. And that's obviously not the most physical group out there that we can put out there with AJ and Flory and Hunt, but we need to play physical. Their bigs remind me a lot of Darnell Jackson, Sasha Khan, Darrell Arthur, Wayne Simeon. Not from a scoring standpoint, but from all about 6'8", all about 6'8 and a half. All can play above the rim. All can move their feet. The positions are interchangeable because the way they play, there's no 4 and no 5. There's just bigs. Okay. And so I like the way they play. The guards are interchangeable and the bigs are interchangeable.
Great preview. Great comparison. I like that. Best of luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks.
That's head coach Bill Self. More pregame coming up next on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to On with Fieldhouse, Kansas and Houston, about 11 minutes away. It's time for Game Plan, brought to you by the Kansas Department of Insurance, who reminds you to make a game plan at smartinvestks.com.
Might be a bit of a broken record after talking to David and to Brian in the open, but hey, it's turnovers and rebounds, and we have to take care of the basketball because we're obviously a very efficient team when we don't turn it over, and that is exactly Houston's MO, to double team and hit you and push you and claw at you. You got to play through contact. Guys have to come and meet the pass. They got to get to the open area. And then once they have an advantage, they have to attack. And then obviously the glass is so important. Offensive rebound, yes, that's important, but the most important thing is getting on the defensive glass. You play good first shot defense. It's not good shot defense if you allow an offensive rebound. So play good D, get the rebound, get out and go. Starting lineups are coming up next. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. 1 pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just one pill can kill.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Kansas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back down on Fieldhouse. This barn is hyped up right now. Great crowd here to take on the Houston Cougars, coming in at 15-3, undefeated in conference at 7-0. Big opportunity for the Jayhawks to get back in this race. Kelvin Sampson in his 11th year at Houston brings it with L.J. Cryer, one of the all-time great scorers in high school basketball and college basketball. 6'1", 200-pounder transfer from Baylor. Milos Uzan, Joseph Tugler, Joanne Roberts, and a guy that I think is really good, Emmanuel Sharp, 6'3", 205-pounder. And I didn't know that it was going to be possible that they're better offensively without Jamal Shedd, but they just might be, and Sharp and Cryer are a big part of that. The Jayhawks go with their same lineup from TCU, with Shaquille Moore coming off his best game as a Jayhawk, knocking down 3 threes. The two-headed monster of the point guard position, along with DeJuan Harris, coming off an off game. So look for DeJuan to step up and be a little upset at how he played. Luckily, Kansas other guys were able to step up in the absence of DeJuan Harris in the big game. Zeke Mayo gets the start at the 2 or the 3. Flory Badunga kept us in the game with his shot blocking, his rebounding, and all-around athletic play in Fort Worth. And then the big fellow in the middle, Hunter Dickinson, another 16-9 performance, just like clockwork. He goes out and gets numbers. The starting lineups are coming up next. This is the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield. I read the wrong card. This has been the Delta Dental Jayhawk Shoot-Around. The opening tip is next. Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
LMH Health is pleased to announce that the Ortho Kansas team has earned another clinical milestone, the Joint Commission's Gold Seal of Approval for Advanced Total Hip and Knee Replacement Certification. The certification recognizes the highest standards of care during a total hip and total knee replacement, and LMH is one of 2 Kansas hospitals to earn this honor. Get to know the Ortho Kansas team by visiting lmh.org/Ortho Kansas. Ready to schedule an appointment? Give them a call at 785-843-9125. LMH Health, a partner for lifelong health.
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high, legends are created, school pride hangs in the balance, memories that last a lifetime will be made, because each game is the most important game in history, at least until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Kansas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com to get started. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
It's a Big 12 battle of massive proportions tonight as number 12 Kansas plays host to 7th-ranked Houston. The Cougars enter at 7-0 in league play, all alone in first, but KU is charging hard, 2 games back, and has already logged 3 road wins, including Wednesday's comeback in Fort Worth.
Inside Flory, this time he jams it home. Zeke Mayo, rifle between 2 defenders, and Flory on the 2-hand slammer. Now a steal for AJ. He got his hand in the cookie jar. Up the floor to Shaq, to the cup, misses, but tipped home by AJ. What a job by AJ Storr. He's been pilfering the ball left and right. Ouellette steps through. Turns, and a steal by Shaq. Here he comes. Moore to the rack. A right-hand hammer. First of 3. Now a rip and run. Shaq Moore taking over. Harris passes ahead to Hunt. In the corner. Shaq wants another 3. He'll get a 3. Shaquille Moore, a huge, huge triple.
The Jayhawks used breakout performances from Flory, AJ, and Shaq to take down the Frogs. But they'll need an even stronger effort tonight to beat a Houston team still undefeated in the league that just held Utah to 36 points. Kelvin Sampson's bunch boasts one of the top defenses in America and will look to avenge last year's loss in the Fog when the Jayhawks cruise to a 78-65 win. Kansas leads the all-time series 6-3. It's the Jayhawks and the Cougars coming up next on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time to wave the wheat.
Here comes Kansas. Right-hand layup, good. A magic act defensively.
It's game time.
Right-hand layup, good. And KU goes up 4. Drives right side, lobs up, and he throws it down hard. A 2-hand jammer. Will he get it off? He does. He missed it. He missed it. You can rock. Chalk it up. The Jayhawks win.
Live play-by-play action of Jayhawk basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com. The Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. Kansas's 988 hotline, a suicide and crisis lifeline. Call 988-WENDYS, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. And by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health.
Oh my goodness! A 2-hand throwdown. He went coast to coast with a posterizing jam.
Now, let's go live courtside alongside Greg Gurley. Here's the voice of the Jayhawks, Brian Haney.
15,300 packed to the gills, an extra energy and buzz in the air as number 12 Kansas plays host to number 7 Houston. Bill Self was asked by the media yesterday about student attendance, student energy, the impact the students have had on the game this season. Said, honestly, I haven't sensed the same buzz we've experienced in the past. Guess what, Greg? Message received loud and clear. They are raucous. They are chomping at the bit, frothing at the mouth, jumping up and down, roaring, and this ball hasn't even been put up in the air yet.
You're right. The buzz is back. Bill called him out. Message received. What an atmosphere here today.
Our 3 officials will be Kip Kissinger, Doug Sermons, and Marcus Pettigrew, veteran crew. Hunter Dickinson in the jump circle opposite of Joseph Tugler. He's got 6 inches of a height advantage for the number 1 clad Hunter Dickinson in the home whites, crimson numerals, blue trim. Houston in their alternate road black unis with red numerals and lettering. Tossing the tap was batted twice by Tugler and one by Houston. They'll bring it up the floor from left to right as we view the court.
Big thing to watch right now is keeping Flory out of foul trouble.
JU switches on a handoff at the head of the circle. They look to go inside with Roberts. He's cut off there. Has to pass it back to Uzan, the Oklahoma transfer. He pulls up for a long deuce that misses. Offensive rebound, though, and kept alive by Roberts. Hooks a pass inside the paint. Gets it right back, but stolen away by Shaq Moore. Moore with his first pilfer of the day after 2 on Wednesday at TCU. Flory takes a pass from Hunt. Tries to get around the defender. They kick it out. Mayo fakes on a 3. He'll drive. Shoot, miss, but a whistle and a foul, and Zeke's going to shoot a couple of free throws. That time, the Black Sea parted. He drove the gap aggressively and will be rewarded with 2 free throws.
Yeah, he used the three-point line as a decoy right there. Nice job, shot fake. The Red Sea parted. He got right through the middle and getting to the line early, something we talk about a lot here in the first minute. Zeke will go for a couple. On the other end, gave up the offensive rebound. Thought they had Flory up in the air. Instead of drawing a foul on him, they threw it right to Shaq Moore and got the turnover. So an early substitution and something to watch. Emmanuel Sharp gets taken out of the game. Looks like he's favoring that left leg a little bit. That would be a huge blow to the Houston Cougars as Zeke Mayo misses the first of 2.
Mayo normally an 84% foul shooter. Of course, Sharp missed the Utah game with an ankle injury. And the quote was, he's going to try to give it a go. Well, he gave it a go for 45 seconds.
And
we'll see if he comes back.
Yeah, he's walking back through the tunnel right now. So Zeke knocks down the second, put his team up 1-0.
How huge of a loss would that be? Well, he shoots 46% from downtown, does Sharp, which is 8th best nationally. 4 of his 6 Big 12 games, he's had 3 or 4 three-pointers. That's the type of impact he has on the game.
And this is where you're going to really see Shaq Moore assert himself, guarding a guy like L.J. Cryer.
He's with him bounce for bounce. Shot clock reading 10. Switch comes on a screen. Shaq gets him back. Cryer drives inside. Flings in the corner. Out to Arsenault for 3. Got it.
Wow. Both sides of the floor. Got it to the corner. They make the cross-court pass. Zeke challenge. Got a hand up. Just a big-time shot that time.
3-1 Houston.
Just checked into the game. Knocks down his first look at it.
Arsenault shoots him at 40%. 3-1 Houston. Kansas working it around the perimeter. Harris takes a pass from Zeke, drives across the free throw line. Nice pass. Shaq Moore right to the hole for 2. And Wando threaded that needle.
And you got to do that when they overplay. We talk about it all the time. Make good cuts. If they're going to deny the passing lane, back cut, that's just what Shaq did.
What a beautiful pass. 3-3 our score. Uzan, a wild shot, is going to crawl in. Wow. He did to Dewan what Dewan does to most, the driving throw over the shoulder type shot.
And had a lot of spin on that one. That barely got over the rim, but
all kinds of English and some soft rims lead to a 5-3 Houston advantage.
See how they decide to guard Dewan Harris.
Shaq Moore flings inside to Flory. Tried to face up on Roberts and immediately was pushed backwards. Harris kicks out to Mayo. 3 to shoot. Zeke, 2 seconds, 1 second. Forces one up. Misses. Rebound Hunt. Stick back good. What a job on the offensive glass after Mayo barely beat the buzzer.
Yeah, great awareness by Zeke. Saw that running down. Had to get it up on the rim. And Hunter on that weak side able to get the offensive rebound.
Now Roberts stumbles to the ground and a whistle by Kip Kissinger. It's one of those plays where they wait to see if he loses possession.
Yeah, and it's the right call. The crowd doesn't like it, but feet got tangled up. No intent there, but I get it. You're going to want the same call on the other end.
Obviously, Kansas is starting this game without KJ Adams, but I keep thinking about the potential loss of Sharp for Houston. It reminds you a little bit of Kansas in Houston last year. Kevin McCullough tried to play hurt, but was a fraction of himself, and Hunter Dickinson injured the shoulder very early,
which left him out of the Big 12 tournament right after that.
Roberts, a jump hook, in and out, no good. Rebound, more of Kansas. 5-5 our score. KU hunting their second lead. Shaq crosses over. Kicks to Hunt at the top. Mayo nearly traveled, but throws it right side to DeJuan Harris. Suffocating man-to-man defense here by Houston as they extend pressure all the way out to the perimeter. Harris thought about a three. Shot clock showing 8. Juan leans in, steps through. A wild flip, misses off the glass and off the front iron. And a rebound to Houston. Here come the Cougars. Cryer a long 3, misses. Rebound tipped about and out of bounds off of Houston. It'll be KU ball.
And that's when Cryer's going to have to get a lot of his looks in transition after a miss by Kansas. Got a pretty good look, but Hunter got a hand up, made it a little more difficult of a shot. And Kansas gets the dead ball rebound as Kelvin Sampson goes to his bench once again.
Cryer and Sharp both in the top 5 in the Big 12 in three-pointers made per game and three-point percentage. Sharp has made his way back to the Houston bench and just told Sampson, I can go. He's not checking in yet, but he just pointed again at the scores table saying, Coach, put me back in. Moore crosses over. Will stop and go. Throws back for Dickinson. 13 to shoot as he finds Harris between the rings. 5-5 our score. Hunter, 12-footer straight on is good. DeJuan on the pass. Hunter on the finish.
Yeah, nice job offensively. Drew a little bit of the defense and a little pocket pass to Hunter for the mid-ranger in the lane.
7-5 KU. Inside of 16 minutes to play here in the first half. Cryer gets around Harris, gets inside, misses on a runner, but he's fouled. And a 95% free throw shooter will have a chance to tie this game when we come back. And Sharp is right back in the lineup for Houston.
They're going to get that foul on Flory on the drive by Cryer, and he is a deadly free throw shooter, so probably will be tied up when we come back.
And A.J. Storr will check in for Kansas. We don't know for sure that he went back and got a new tape job. Maybe he just walked it out in the tunnel, but whatever it was only about a 3 or 4 minute absence for Sharp, and the Big 12's most lethal clutch three-point shooter about to re-enter this game.
First half action is brought to you by Ameritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA.
Yeah, the KU Bookstore is the official KU campus store since 1946. 7-5 KU, but Houston with a nearly automatic free throw shooter going to the line when we return on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Behind my desk in the hospital is a wall of cards, letters, and thank you notes. They're from our patients, their children, their families, expressing thanks for how we've helped them. Every note we get goes right up on that wall. And it doesn't happen often, but whenever I need a reminder that what we do is making a difference for people, I look back at that wall. And immediately, I'm inspired to continue doing all I can.
The University of Kansas Health System. Why would you go anywhere else?
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high, legends are created, school pride hangs in the balance, memories that last a lifetime will be made, because each game is the most important game in history, at least until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
Flex Premium Athleisure is softness that plays hard. From the couch to the gym to the office and beyond, Flex gives you premium comfort and style that keeps up with anything without costing everything. Whether you're chasing the ball or chasing the gigs, life's a workout. Flex with it. Exclusively at Kohl's. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
This is Coach Ted Owens. You're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Always great to hear from Coach Owens. We're going to get to see Coach Owens on the floor, honored at halftime. They're also going to have a special posthumous celebration for Walt Wesley, who passed away in late March a year ago. He was a obviously All-American player at Kansas, but most recently, you heard that name because he was one of our Marion E. Washington Trailblazer honorees in February of a year ago. But Walt and Ted both to be honored.
Yeah, they had a little reception before the game, got to go up there and see Coach Owens. And 95 years old, the guy is unreal. And you know, it's so fun to see him and then brag about his grandkids. His kids are there, his grandkids are there. And then all of his players, he was just ear-to-ear smile, and it's so fun to see him back in the mix.
Certainly is. We'll describe some of those celebrations for you at halftime. L.J. Cryer to the free throw line. I mentioned he's nearly automatic. 35 of 37 on the season. This is 5th year collegiately. First free throw good. 95%. He averaged 15 a game at Baylor as a junior, then 15.5 a game last year in his first season as a Cougar. This is his graduate senior season, and he gets the second one to fall as well. Front iron, backboard, and down. 7-7 our score, 15:45 to go. First half action here in Lawrence. Shaquille Moore receives the pass from Harris on the left wing. More man-to-man defense for Houston. But again, Sharp wanting to return, but he's not come in yet. Zeke leans in, banks home, and the foul. A chance at 3 for Zeke Mayo.
What an offensive play by Zeke Mayo. Got his man up in the air. Smart, playing off 2 feet, controlled, and was strong enough to get it up and off the glass for an and one. And again, we've talked so much about drawing fouls, and Zeke's the kind of guy with his ability to shoot beyond the arc and drive it. He's a great shot faker. I think he can get to the line 7, 8, 9 times a game.
Did not see that in non-con, and he misses another free throw here. 1 for 3 now for Zeke from the free throw line. He attempted just 14 free throws all non-conference season. Here's a little jump hook that misses by Roberts. Rebound Mayo. Kansas with the ball on a 2-point lead. Zeke down the right sideline. Hands off to Shaquille Moore. Screen comes from Dickinson. Shaq dribbling around the right side. Undercut and tripped up by Javier Francis.
Oh, wow. And Francis just went down on his back with that right ankle. Their feet got tangled up. That was the call I mentioned from a couple minutes ago. Kansas just got the call because Shaq went down, and then Francis goes down as well.
And now we're going to see Sharp finally enter. He went to the scores table during the timeout, and then they thought better of it, didn't bring him back. Now finally he comes in.
And I just watched the replay. Francis just on his toe kind of bit. It was weird. It wasn't really a traditional sprained ankle. His foot kind of went forward. And man.
So you sub in one guy with a bum ankle for another. And we'll see what it looks like for Houston. 9-7 KU. 15 minutes to play first half. Harris throws off in the corner. Zeke dials up a 3 and delivers. Zeke Mayo from way downtown. 12-7 Kansas.
What a play design right there. It had a lot going on. DeWant pointed over to Bill Self after that 3 went in to say, hey, great job on calling that play.
12-7 KU. Cryer on the move. Misses on a floater over Harris. Rebound Hunter. Here comes Kansas. Storr lost the handle by Sharp pulling it out of there. No foul call. And the Cougars now in numbers. Sharp, a transition 3 is an air ball. Boy, he shot it off 1 foot. Again, he's dealing with the bad ankle. Kelvin Sampson just gives him a stare with his hands on his hips.
But that's a north of 40% three-point shooter that has, got injured, and now he comes back in, kind of a heat check, even though that was his first attempt, but he missed everything.
Yeah, 46% is what he shoots, 8th best nationally. He never airballs. Here's Hunt. There's a goaltend. It went in anyway, and 2 more for Kansas. 14-7 KU.
And the right play by A.J. Storr. He's taken what he did on Wednesday, and here he is right now. He had the turnover on the previous possession, but I think what he was trying to do was maybe throw an alley-oop to Shaq. It wasn't there. He fumbled it. But the next possession down delivers a perfect strike to Hunter Dickinson.
They want him to be aggressive but not force it. They want him to use his athleticism but not be out of control. And right now, Storr settling in more and more. Harris poking at the ball from Cryer. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Roberts backing his way down. AJ got a hand in, but the carom goes right to a Houston teammate in Tugler, and he dunks it home.
Yeah, that's one of those. You play great defense, got a hand on it, and it fell right in their lap.
14-9 Kansas. Zeke fakes on a three. Dickinson, 15-footer, misses short. And when he's shooting those, there's nobody inside for the rebound. Houston gets the board. Cryer up the floor. Man, he's fast. Weaving through traffic, dribbling through his legs and around several Hawks. Picks up his dribble now, throws off to Roberts. Jump hook, good over Hunt. And he hit the deck on the shot. 14-11 Kansas. It's a 4-0 Houston spurt. 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Moore fakes on a three, looks to drive, now steps back, launches and misses badly. No rim, all backboard.
And that's really not Shaq's game. His game is spotting up in transition or in half court, like we saw in Fort Worth. Made 3 of them from basically the same spot.
And with that, Ryland Griffin sprints to the scorer's table. Roberts, another jump hook over Dickinson, and good again. Jawan Roberts, the all-time winningest player in Houston history, he is settling into some kind of groove. 14-13, it's a 6-0 Houston run. Kansas leads by 1. Storr will try a three, misses it front iron. That one came a little early, and Bill Self with smoke coming out the ears, not pleased.
Yeah, Houston with 3 really good possessions to get back in it, and Kansas offensively not 3 good possessions, 3 bad shots.
14-13 Kansas. Roberts kicks it out. Arsenault started the drive, cut off by Moore. Shot clock at 8. Cryer at the top, flings high. Roberts on the catch, dumps it down, and Tugler, another jam. It's an 8-0 Houston run. They wait till you get inside of 10 seconds, and then they picked KU apart from 15 feet and in.
Zeke Mayo went for the steal, and when he didn't get it, that allowed a really good look and a dunk by Houston.
Storr will try another three. This one misses short.
Yeah, that one you're okay with. He's wide open in the corner. You want AJ taking that, but now Houston's got an opportunity.
Cryer a deep three, misses wide left. Hunter had it knocked away, but Zeke Mayo's got it for Kansas. Hawks down 1. Harris all the way inside, finds Shaq. He takes a three. He makes a three. Shaquille Moore from the corner, and KU back in front.
That's his game. Hang out in the corner on the wing. He's not James Harden. He's not going to do step back threes. We just saw that, but that's when you want Shaq taking those shots. He makes them pay.
17-15 Kansas. Roberts getting too open inside. Jump hook air ball this time. Rebound AJ Storr. Storr will push up the floor. Harris. Dewan will drive. Hooks to Hunt. Left hand layup good. Harris like a magician finding Dickinson, and KU goes up 4.
Yeah, eyes in the back of his head. What a pass and catch by Hunter Dickinson. I think Houston's going to get a timeout. Kelvin didn't want to call it. They were on a run, but then Kansas right back at them with a 5-0 run to answer their 8-0 run. Hawks by 4.
It's the best this building has sounded since the North Carolina game. I know they were charged up early over K-State 14-0, but this place roaring right now, and you can tell Kansas feeding off that energy, the crowd funneling it right back to them, and the Jayhawks surging back in front, 19-15.
Hey, there's going to be runs. Houston's going to go on several more runs. It's how do you match it? A nice job by Kansas. Listen up, Jayhawk fans. On game days, stop by Wendy's and buy 1 Baconator and get a second Baconator for just $1. And let's all cheer for Bacon Big Plays all season long. Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics.
So the 8-0 Houston run is countered by a 5-0 Kansas spurt, and the Jayhawks go back up 4 as we take it to a timeout. LMH Health is your partner for lifelong health. Learn more at lmh.org. 19-15 Kansas, 10:36 to play in the first on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
BMW of Topeka wants you to join the Jayhawks as they drive to the tournament. BMW of Topeka and Kansas Athletics are offering to send you and a guest to the first round games of the tournament at Kansas's location. Jayhawk tournament basketball, travel expenses, hotel accommodations, and a $500 Visa gift card. Visit kuathletics.com/drive to the tournament to enter for a chance to win. BMW of Topeka, 3030 South Kansas Avenue, proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics.
Just like Bill Self and his coaching staff place their best players in the right positions for success, so does the Brush Group with their multifaceted marketing team of Sun Graphics, Don Levy Litho, and Brush Art Corporation. Sun Graphics is the proud printing partner of Kansas Athletics and is known for marketing support that is nothing short of exceptional. Make sure you are scoring with all your marketing efforts by contacting Sun Graphics today. Proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics.
Hey Jayhawk fans, it's Coach Self. Here at Kansas Athletics, we know success isn't accomplished alone. It's all about the team. That's why we are proud to team up with Ameritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. Team Ameritrust knows that every play matters and every moment leads to a winning game plan. They have the resources you need to save, spend, borrow, and plan along your financial journey. Stop by a Ameritrust location today or visit ameritrustcu.org. Together, it's a win. Rock Chalk.
Welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas riding a 5-0 run is back in front of number 7 Houston, 19-15. And Forrest Hoagland just being honored at center court. You've heard Hoagland Ballpark. Perhaps you're not fully aware that this former Jayhawk baseball player has become one of the biggest donors, benefactors of Kansas Athletics over the years. He just recently was named as the George H.W. Bush Distinguished Alumnus Award winner, one of the highest of prestigious honors the College Baseball Foundation can give out. Only 7 people have ever received this. And the College Baseball Hall of Fame, which is now landing on a permanent home in Overland Park, Kansas, will have a special presentation for Forrest in April, but he got a nice honoring during that time out.
Yeah, and if you've ever had the pleasure of hanging out with Forrest and Sally Hoagland, the greatest people in the world. I've had dinner with them several times, and it's just amazing what he's done for us, what he's done in the communities he's lived in Texas, and I mean, just an unbelievable guy, and meant so much to our athletic department. I get a chance as a fundraiser to meet a lot of very special people, and he's right at the top.
I would believe that for sure. Tom Jacobs was out there with him. He's the CEO and president of the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Be excited, baseball fans. The fact that that's coming to the Prairie Fire area in Overland Park is a really big deal.
There's a tough guard for A.J. Storr underneath.
Sharp will try another 3. This one misses short. Rebound, Diggy Coit of Kansas.
Dodge one there. Sharp. Zeke's wide open over here.
Coit didn't see it. The whole crowd did and was yelling at Diggy. Now Storr, right side, back to Coit.
I mean, Zeke was open for about 5 seconds with a Cougar not in sight.
You know, when you got 15,000 folks hollering at you, you clearly missed something there. Coit coming off a nice 5-point game on Wednesday. Zeke on a drive, wild flip shot, misses. Flory timed his jump wrong, and Houston's going to get the rebound with Uzan.
Yeah, that extra bounce on the rim. Flory was just off by a millisecond.
Sharp, guarded by Griffin. 2 sharpshooters from deep going toe-to-toe. Off to Roberts, backing his way down on Flory. This is where he's got to be strong. Jump hook misses, fighting for the board, and knocked out of bounds by Kansas, they say.
Kip Kissinger right on it. Emphatic call to Houston. He must have seen something. Kip, one of the best officials in the country.
Is Roberts now a little bit gimpy? He'll walk off the floor. Looks to be okay, but he was stomping his foot for a second. Maybe just in frustration. Sharp wide open on the inbound play. Floater misses. Rebound, David Coit.
How about that? As open as he's ever going to be. And then the littlest guy in Lawrence picks it off the glass.
19-15. Kansas in front. Rylan Griffin, you'd love to see him get going. He was 1 of 6 on Wednesday. A.J. Storr backing down on Sharp. 8 on the clock. Turns, fires, misses, but he's fouled. And free throws coming for A.J. Storr.
It's just a guy making a play right there. There really wasn't much going on that possession. And A.J. backed his guy down, which is exactly what he would have done last year at Wisconsin. And I think the game on Wednesday started to give him a little bit more confidence. That was a patient move. He draws the foul. Now he can get on the board with a couple of free throws.
First of which misses. And KU suddenly has a free throw problem.
Yeah.
They've been good all season at 74%, but right now, in arguably their biggest game of the year at home, they are 1 of 4. It's free money you're leaving on the table.
Yeah, we keep saying we want you to get the free throw line more, but a big part of that is making them, and he misses both. Front rims it.
Wow. 1 of 5, and this is an 84% shooter in Mayo and Storr 74% that have done the missing for KU. Hawks should be up 8. Instead, it's a 4-point lead. Inside Tugler, kicks it out. Arsenault, another 3. Missed it short. Rebound tipped about. Houston's got it. Cryer for 3. No. Rebound again to Houston. Arsenault on the glass. Now Uzan for 3. Misses. Rebound Houston, but a push off.
Finally.
Wow.
That first one, I thought they were over the back. Second one was a good one, but they finally get, I think they got Tugler with 2 hands in the back, but offensive rebound. Talk about dodging bullets. 3 really good looks, and I watched the replay. I'm not sure where he fouled Rylan Griffin.
Bill is imploring Flory Bidunga to play big, play strong, but when you're that thin, and you know AJ right now is your 4-man, KU doesn't have a lot of size in terms of strength on the floor right now against this physical Houston team.
Now, I don't want to make excuses, but those are long rebounds.
Storr, long 18-footer, misses. Offensive rebound, Harris, though, and KU will keep. AJ knew he missed it as soon as he shot it. Harris for 3. Yes! Dawan Harris from straight on, and KU goes up 7.
There's a 6-point swing. Houston gets 3 looks at it, all open threes they miss. Kansas gets 1 offensive rebound. Dawan Harris knocks it down.
Arsenault bricks a 3. Rebound, Ryland, but ripped away by Houston. Then a whistle and a foul on the Cougars.
That was a late whistle. Kelvin Sampson not happy with that call, but it sure looked like Houston had the ball, and then they called the foul late.
They say the former Red Raider Malik Wilson reached over the back that time of Griffin. So KU with a break, and Sampson stomping around angry as his team trails by 7.
I don't blame Kelvin Sampson. That was a really, really late whistle. It wasn't like they were waiting to see if the shot went in or anything. They had the ball, but Kansas will get it with its biggest lead of the day of 7. Hey, BMW of Topeka is offering to send you and a guest to the first-round games of the tournament, wherever Kansas plays. This offer includes game tickets, travel expenses, hotel accommodations, and a $500 Visa gift card. Visit KUathletics.com/drive to the tournament to enter for a chance to win.
In terms of rebounds here early, it's closer than you might think, and KU actually out-rebounding Houston overall 13-12. It's just those 3 offensive rebounds on 1 possession by the Cougars that makes it feel a little bit tilted. 22-15, Kansas in front. Bud Light is a proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. 7-point Kansas lead, 7:59 to go in the first. On the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. 1 pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just 1 pill can kill.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Kansas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Take a look around and you'll notice something extraordinary. Look at your community, your state, and even farther.
2, 1, liftoff.
Jayhawks are there. On our 5 campuses across Kansas, we learn to be your doctors, teachers, researchers, champions. At the University of Kansas, we study the past to reshape our future, create jobs for a healthier economy, and discover the advancements that enrich our world. Jayhawks make it happen, one rock chalk at a time.
Hi, this is Jeff Withy, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
22-15 Kansas, 7:59 to go in the half. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball. (22-15) KU. Kelvin Sampson, the 36th year collegiate coach, giving Marcus Pettigrew more than an earful, maybe 2 earfuls during that timeout from about 80 feet away. Pettigrew finally walked all the way over to the far corner to hear him out more, but he does not like this 6-2 foul discrepancy.
No, he doesn't. And, it's most of them were good calls. I think that last one was a little suspect, but regardless, it's 6-2. And if you're a Kansas fan and it was 6-2, Bill Self would be arguing. So I get it. And Kelvin's been around long enough to know he needs to get his money's worth. And I'll bet you whatever you want to bet that he'll get the next call.
I was just going to say, usually Self sees the fruits of those labors pretty quickly. Here's a lob by Hunt that's broken up, but KU will keep. He was looking for Flory, but the carom went to Diggy. Coit, left side, he'll try a three. In and out, no good. Long rebound, KU though, as Flory tapped it out. Hunt for three, no. Rebound, Ryland Griffin. KU will keep. Harris drives in, kicks back. Griffin for three. Got it! Ryland Griffin rips the cords, and KU goes up 10. Kansas sticking with it 3 times over.
Hey, Houston, dose your own medicine. Back-to-back offensive rebounds to turn into threes. Here's a steal almost by Dwan. Oh, wow, about walked. But how about that? A couple offensive rebounds. Big rebound by Ryland Griffin, and then he gets rewarded.
Up the floor, Tugler, easy lay-in around Flory.
And when you look at the score right now, Houston 7 of 22, and 5 of those 7 have been little left-handed runners by their big guys.
Honestly, they cannot have shot it any worse. They're 1 of 9 from 3. KU up 8. You want to keep piling up points because remember, they got it going late last year with Cryer alone, and he made it interesting. Now a high pass from Dickinson over Coit. Coit's only 5'8" on a good day. I know he's listed at 5'11".
And he was wide open, too. Hunter's mad at himself because a good pass, he would have had a good look from the corner. And Diggy's coming off a game where he hadn't made a shot forever, but he made one against TCU in transition on that run Kansas was making. And Bill puts him right back out there. Would have had a good look. Unfortunately, threw it into the 5th row.
25-17, Kansas. Inside. Roberts gets away with a walk. Kicks it out to Uzan. Shot clock showing 12. Uzan weaves in. Flings back. Wilson for 3. Got it.
Well, Uzan got caught in the air and got lucky. Found a wide open Houston Cougar, and he's able to connect.
And just like that, as poorly as they've shot it, Houston's back within 5. Dickinson a lob, Flory a catch, he brought it down, loses it wildly behind the basket. And right now, this is a big boy game and big boy ball, and Flory's getting pushed around a little bit. He's trying hard, bless his heart. This is where you hope he's got about 15 more pounds of muscle this time next year.
Yeah, it's a man's game right here. Like we talked about, there are 3 bigs, they're interchangeable, and they're all about the same size. They play hard, they play tough, and you get the ball in there, you got to get it under your chin, go up straight, and you got to dunk it. Can't lay it in.
They say Houston knocked it behind the basket out of bounds, so KU will keep. 6 minutes to play here in the first half, a 5-point Jayhawk lead. Griffin out to Dickinson, or at least in his direction. Mayo had to corral the pass. Zeke gets a screen from Hunter. Spins and finds Harris. He wants another 3. Got it again! DeJuan Harris, a masterclass here in the first half.
Yeah, coming off a game he'd like to forget against TCU, but he's righting the wrongs right here tonight in Allen Fieldhouse. Couple of threes for your 6th-year senior.
28-20, Kansas. He's also had a couple of great thread-the-needle assists. Cryer on the run, misses with an air ball, but a push and a foul on KU.
That's a really tough guard for Ryland Griffin, LJ Cryer. so efficient and dangerous on the offensive end, and he'll go back to the line for 2 where he's made a couple. In Kansas, you look at up by 8 and then 1 of 5 from the free throw line.
Cryer likely not going to miss his. Again, 95% is where he started the day. He's already 2 for 2. Make it 3 for 3. Preseason first team All Big 12 and preseason 4th team All-American. He's on the Naismith National Player of the Year Award watch list.
Yeah, we were down in Houston for their senior night, and they recognized LJ, so they're like, all right, maybe that's the last we'll see of him, but he knocks them both down, and he's back for a 5th year.
Not in this day and age of college athletics. Throw everything you used to know about the game out. 28-22 Kansas. Hunter, a little floater for 15. Bang!
Wow, tough shot. He made look easy right there. Big fella off 1 foot. Knocks down the 16-footer to give Kansas back an 8-point lead.
Well, jump hooks are usually in the 6 to 10-foot range, not 16 feet. 30-22 Kansas. Houston looking to go inside to Francis. Picks up his dribble, looks indecisive. Tries to hand off to Wilson. Riley Griffin right there with him. He fades, fires, hits. Wow, the former Red Raider with 5 quick points off the bench. And Houston back to within 6.
Riley Griffin does a nice job chasing. That was just good defense, beaten by good offense.
Dickinson, another floater, misses this time. Flory.
And that's on Hunter right there. He's got to throw that ball to the weak side. Zeke Mayo was wide open on the right wing.
Houston gets the board over Bidunga. It was Wilson that came up with the carry. 30-24 Kansas. 4:12 to go in the half. Houston dribbling in, cutting back out. Uzan for 3. Swish. And just like that, it's a 1-possession game. The Cougars open 1 of 9 from 3, but they've come up with a couple of makes in their last 2 attempts, and it's a 3-point game.
Well, the 3-point shot is the great equalizer.
30-27 Kansas. Mayo trying to hand it off to Harris, but it's all sealed off.
No spacing over there.
Dewan driving right side, slings a pass to Flory, off the Hunt, foul going up, and he bangs his fist against the padded goal structure in frustration. He didn't take it strongly upward. He should have had an and one, and he knows it.
Well, we know what we've seen between Doak and Thomas Robinson, Cole Aldridge, you name them. They get that ball, they throw it down, and Hunter's not that athlete, so he's going to have to earn them from the free throw line. Unleash your smile power with Delta Dental of Kansas. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com.
Houston's defense, which no matter where you look is one of the top defenses in any metric, they typically only allow 54 a game. KU scored 30 in the first half with 3:37 to go, and it could be even more if they could just hit their charities. 2 free throws come your way when we come back. Cheer on the Jayhawks with the Electric Park canned cocktails. Vodka sodas available in 2 delicious flavors, perfect for game days. Made with Rieger's Vodka. 30-27 Kansas on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life.
SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
3:37 to go here in Allen Fieldhouse. First half action, Kansas and Houston. The Jayhawks under Bill Self are 25-4 against top 10 teams in the Fog. Right now they lead by 3, but their lead at one point was as many as 10. Houston, the way they play defense and the way they can be streaky from 3, they're never fully out of it.
Yeah, Wilson's come off the bench, done a nice job, knocked down the 3, then got the mid-ranger. Their bigs have been great, and we talked about how they haven't shot the ball particularly well, 3 of 11 beyond the arc, but that'll come. When L.J. Cryer gets some openings, he can really be dangerous beyond the arc. Right now, he's 0-4 from the field, and all his points coming off the free throw line.
Someone from the Kansas student section just threw a red ball, like a Nerf ball, toward the Houston bench. And a Houston assistant coach throws it to a KU fan behind the bench. Okay, can Hunter Dickinson be the guy that gets the lid off for Kansas, who's 1 of 5 for the free throw line? Yes. 78% on the season. His final campaign is 36 of 47. First free throw good to extend it to a 4-point lead. One more coming for the Southpaw. 2 dribbles, bends, shoots, swish.
Yeah, he's now got 12, only player in this game in double figures. 12 early for Hunter.
Harris poking at the ball. The Cryer nearly got himself a steal. Juwan having one of his best halves of his senior year.
And they can gamble a little bit more because him and Shaq are on the same page. They can switch and really create a lot of pressure.
Wilson fading, floating, hitting again. Who is this guy?
And Shaq, almost blocked the shot. That was just a big-time offensive play. Great defense by Shaq. Better offense by Wilson.
Malik Wilson averages 5.5 points a game. He's got 7 in the last 3 minutes. Shaq Moore with the ball high above his head. KU leads by 3. A lob for Flory. Brought it down low, and it was stripped out of there by who? Wilson.
We talked about it. You got to get it, keep it above your shoulders. There's Hunter telling the young fella, hey, get it and go straight up with it. You cannot bring it below your waist.
Was it Mr. Wilson that Dennis the Menace was always harassing? Because this Wilson has been a menace to Kansas today on both ends of the floor. Hawks need an answer for number 8. A lob to Flory, deep catch, brings it down low, muscles up, rejected. Gets his own rebound, stripped again. He's just being outschooled by toughness and size inside. Love Flory, but the big boy ball today is showing his youth and his lack of girth. Wilson fades, shoots, got it. Wow. Taking over is Malik Wilson, and this is a 1-point KU lead. What do you do with Flory right now?
Well, you got to keep feeding him. He's got to get something good, something positive. Maybe get him that action where DeJuan Harris can get that alley-oop to him.
We knew they'd miss KJ's muscle today, but yes, you need the rim-running version of Flory. If he brings it down low, he's got no chance. Shaq fakes on a 3, puts up a floater, misses, gets his own rebound, right back up and in. Shaq Moore sticking with it, and KU goes up 3.
But that nobody around as good of a defensive rebounding team as Houston is. Shaq long on the attempt, gets it right back. Right when Kansas needed one. Now, Houston 6 of their last 6 from the field.
Most of which are Wilson. Jump hook Roberts misses. Rebound Dickinson, who rips it away from Arsenault.
Could have some numbers.
Here comes Kansas. Mayo all the way up the floor, steps through, finds Harris. Back to Zeke from Eudora. No, he missed it short. And the rebound pulled out of there by Houston's Arsenault.
Well, that's what you do. You penetrate, then you kind of repopulate the open area. That's exactly what Zeke did. Didn't quite have his feet set. He short rims it.
Would have been good from East 23rd, but Eudora was too far. A steal for Harris, up the floor 1, left-hand layup, goaltend. The second goaltending of the half, but DeJuan Harris continues to put his stamp on this game. This easily his best half of the season.
He's just been a pest. And right there, he's been so close to stealing it this entire game, and that time he got it. And one of those easy ones, you get a steal and a bucket.
36-31. Wilson blows by 2 Jayhawks, and then a travel, a jump stop. He shuffled his feet and turns it over.
Yeah, that's why Flory's in the game. He's right there to change shots, and that he caused the travel that time. Bill Self with 1:03 to go, going to take his use it or lose it to set up the 2-for-1 opportunity. up by 5 and the ball. You want to get this to where you might attempt a shot around the 40-second mark. So using about 20, 25 seconds of that shot clock.
36-31 Kansas. Jayhawk fans, get to Rally House today and shop the latest KU gear, including exclusive styles featuring your favorite Kansas athletes. Shop Rally House in-store and online today. Hawks wearing their home whites, but the special version that our buddy Larry Hare calls the Pay Heed Banner Whites. Got that circus font, big crimson numerals with blue trim.
But they were all special.
Well, yeah, but some, just look a little more fancy than others. They have 9 different uniform combinations this year from Adidas. And how about yesterday? They got a special gift.
Yeah.
In the mail from a big-time NBA star.
The Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, a big-time Adidas athlete, sent his new shoe, and everyone, I'm trying to think, looks like, who has got him on? Hunter?
He does. And normally Hunter's got all kinds of fluorescent colored shoes, but these are actually blue and white.
Actually team colors. How about that? Houston guys all have team colors on.
We saw Anthony Edwards in Maui when he was with Georgia.
Just a freak. Unbelievable athlete.
36-31 Kansas.
So here you go. About 52 on the clock right now, and so it's going now. Hunter comes out for the high screen.
Harris, ball on a string, lost the handle, and off his hands. He swears it was hit by a Cougar. They may take a look. Marcus Pettigrew comes over and is going to wave it off and say, actually, Kansas ball. Pettigrew overrules Doug Servants.
Now you got to go if you're trying to get the 2-for-1. You don't want to take a bad shot. At 11 on the clock after the overturn, Kansas will keep it.
I laugh because that's the official Sampson has been all over today. Mayo dribbles all the way out 45 feet from the bucket. Hunter rejected by Tugler. Not a good shot there, and Houston comes away with it. 8-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Man. That time hurrying did not help.
Are they good athletes? Just think about that. Hunter at 7'2" with a high release. Tugler gets it clean. Kansas does not get a shot up, but if they can get the stop and the defensive rebound, we'll have plenty of time.
Left side, Pryor for 3. Missed it short. Long rebound. Harris has got it. 10 seconds to go in the half. Here comes Kansas. Mayo, deep 3. Misses. Flory the rebound. Right back up and in to beat the buzzer. Flory beat Dunga with that stick back.
That's why you keep Flory on the floor. He struggled all half. The big guys kind of bullied him a little bit. You take that 3 in transition. They're scrambled. Another offensive rebound putback for Kansas. That's really the story of the first half. Houston has been unable to capitalize on the offensive glass, and Kansas has.
The late, great Walt Wesley would be so proud of that perseverance by young Jayhawk big. Walt built a little bit similarly to beat Dunga, although he got thicker as his career went on, as I'm sure Flory will as well. They're about to honor Wesley, so let's honor him as well. Late in his life, I had a chance to go to his home in Florida and sit down with the Kansas Hall of Famer, and this is a quick comment he gave me on what it meant to be a Kansas Jayhawk.
It's just tremendous. You know, Brian, from the onset, it was an opportunity to see and explore the world and the world of Kansas basketball, which has just been tremendous. But I'm very grateful and thankful that I had this opportunity and met the people that I met along the way. And for Kansas basketball has opened so many opportunities for me and my family to do different things. And I continue, and I thank them and all of them from the bottom of my heart, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. It doesn't matter. It's about this and the accomplishments, and I wish everyone well. Go Jayhawk, rock chalk Jayhawk.
The late, great Walt Wesley, he passed away in March of 2024. His widow on the floor right now with Ted Owens. They're both holding a piece of the Allen Fieldhouse floorboards, or rather the old seating that they ripped out to upgrade. And Ted, at 95 years of age, are watching a video of Walt, the trailblazer that he was, coming to Kansas from the integrated South back in the 1960s. What a story of perseverance, not just on the basketball court, but everything that was going on in our nation at that time, he overcame it all. Special moment here at Allen Fieldhouse.
And you and I got to have dinner during COVID.
Yep.
Back in Fort Myers during, what was that, 2020 or 21? And what a legacy he left here, and great for us to honor the great Walt Wesley.
Our halftime show comes your way next on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
This is Brian Haney with a message from the Kansas Drive to Zero Coalition. Wherever you plan to watch or listen to this week's game, if you're drinking, have a plan to arrive and return home safely. We are proud to partner with the Kansas Drive to Zero Coalition. Plan ahead to designate a sober driver, hop on SafeRock, or use your favorite rideshare app. Together, Jayhawk fans with a plan can prevent serious injuries and fatalities caused by impaired drivers. True Blue Jayhawks don't drink and drive.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Kansas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high, legends are created, school pride hangs in the balance. Memories that last a lifetime will be made, because each game is the most important game in history. At least, until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
20 minutes of Jayhawk basketball are in the books. Welcome to the Halftime Show on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield. The Halftime Show is brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health, the Kansas Department of Insurance, reminding you to have a game plan before you invest. Help is available at smartinvestks.com, and by the Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. The Halftime Show begins now.
Back and live here at Allen Fieldhouse as the Jayhawks hold a 7-point lead on the Houston Cougars, 38-31. Your Old Dominion Freight Line, first half player of the game. The only Jayhawk in double figures, the only guy in the game in double figures, Hunter Dickinson, played 17 minutes, had 12 points, only 3 rebounds, made both of his free throws, 5 of 9 from the field. And Hunter just hanging out around the paint, doing a nice job. Corey Badunga with that final bucket to send KU into the locker room up 7. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion is the official freight line of Kansas Athletics. Your score at the half, Kansas 38, Houston 31. We'll be right back on the halftime show with a recap and highlights from the first half. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas leads at 38-31 after break. Chloe Bidunga's stick back to beat the buzzer gives the Hawks a 7-point edge. Our first half recap is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're going to give you some highlights here in just a second as soon as our main man Maurice Jones dials them up for you. Kansas got off to a hot start, and one of the guys doing the heavy lifting early was Zeke Mayo. Let's bring you some highlights. Mayo had an and one to give the Hawks an early 9-7 lead. Sharp wanting to return, but he's not come in yet. Zeke leans in, banks home, and the foul. A chance at three for Zeke Mayo. That the old-fashioned three-point play. Then he had the new age version from way downtown. Harris throws off in the corner. Zeke dials up a three and delivers. Zeke Mayo from way downtown. 12-7, Kansas. What? Those were all 6 of KU's points from Zeke Mayo in the first half. He would go cold after that, including from the free throw line. But Shaquille Moore, coming off 3 threes on Wednesday, hit a big triple here today. Hawks down one. Harris all the way inside. Finds Shaq. He takes a three. He makes a three. Shaquille Moore from the corner. And KU back in front. And then DeJuan Harris, who had his best half in his senior season with 8 points and 7 assists in a single half. This might have been his fanciest assist. A threaded needle to set up Hunter Dickinson. Up the floor, Harris. DeJuan will drive. Hooks to Hunt. Left hand layup, good. Harris like a magician finding Dickinson, and KU goes up 4. Juan can pass, you know that. He's got over 700 career assists. But how about his range on his three-point shot? Here it was on display. Storr, long 18-footer, misses. Offensive rebound, Harris, though, and KU will keep. AJ knew he missed it as soon as he shot it. Harris for three. Yes! DeJuan Harris from straight on, and KU goes up 7. Then Griffin showing off his range as well. Rebound, Ryland Griffin. KU will keep. Harris drives in, kicks back. Griffin for three. Got it! Ryland Griffin rips the cords, and KU goes up 10. And one more Harris highlight, a three-pointer off an assist to have Kansas up 8. Gets a screen from Hunter. Spins and finds Harris. He wants another three. Got it again! DeJuan Harris, a masterclass here in the first half. Harris having the best half of his Jayhawks senior season. And Matt Quatrero's here, the manager of the Kansas City Royals. More coming up on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with doing your homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you are just coming off the bench or are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com. That's smartinvestks.com.
Behind my desk in the hospital is a wall of cards, letters, and thank you notes. They're from our patients, their children, their families, expressing thanks for how we've helped them. Every note we get goes right up on that wall. And it doesn't happen often, but whenever I need a reminder that what we do is making a difference for people, I look back at that wall. And immediately, I'm inspired to continue doing all I can.
The University of Kansas Health System. Why would you go anywhere else?
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
How's business?
Good. Are you up to speed with the new beneficial ownership reporting requirements?
Sort of. What's it about?
It's a new initiative to help fight crimes like money laundering, fraud, and drug trafficking. A lot of small businesses like ours just have to report some basic info to the federal government about the real people behind them.
Reporting your company's beneficial ownership information is quick, secure, and free. And it helps protect U.S. national security. Learn more at fincen.gov/BOI.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Welcome back. We're at the half with Kansas leading Houston 38-31. The Jayhawks shot 48% and scored 38 points against the nation's #1 defense. We'll see if they can keep it coming when we come back. Second half comes your way next on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas, with a 38-31 lead here as we get set to start the second half. Greg Gurley just got done catching up with Joe Dooley.
Here with assistant coach Joe Dooley, gave him a dose of their own medicine. 16 misses, 6 offensive rebounds, turned into a 12-0 advantage on second chance points.
Well, we've done a pretty good job of getting to the backboard. I mean, Rylan had a great effort. He was rewarded. Picked up a loose ball. Hunt and Flory had been on the backboard. And for the most part, with the exception of that one sequence, we've done a pretty good job defensive rebounding.
What was the message at half?
Same thing. We got to keep blocking out and take care of the ball. We've gotten shot every time down the floor. We got a little stagnant offensively. We need to get the ball moving a little bit more.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Joe Dooley and Kansas. Jayhawks start the second half like they ended the first with a Flory Bidunga lay-in. He got an offensive rebound, Karam, and 31. Wilson steps through on the other end and buries a little floater. He gets the second half start, and he picks up where he left off as well.
Where would they be without Wilson, a guy we haven't even talked about in the pregame?
He only averages 5.5 a game. He hasn't started all year, but he's been their biggest catalyst by far. Wilson now with 11, 5 for 5. Zeke passes out to Dickinson, who's mugged by Wilson, and a whistle and a foul. Doug Sermon's on the call. The foul will go on Malik Wilson.
You know, the first possession for Kansas, they got a break because Shaq made a bad pass, but it was tipped to Flory, like you said, and got the dunk. And then that time, a little sloppy right now. Houston really turning up the defensive pressure.
40-33, Kansas. Harris dials up another three, misses this one. Juan had been on fire in the first half, 3 of 4. Cryer, quick trigger three is good.
Yeah, you gotta find him in transition. The missed three, DeJuan's in the corner, no defensive balance, and LJ Cryer, he's gonna come alive. He's too good of a scorer.
5-0 Houston run, 40-36 Kansas, 18:29 to go. Harris throws off to Dickinson at the top, who gives it right back. Then DeJuan's pass batted loose. Dickinson saves it, throws it loose in the corner where Shaq Moore has to corral it. Now Zeke, 6 to shoot. Leans in, throws up a prayer. Not answered, hits the rim. He saves it, finds Moore. He'll try a three. No. Long rebound, tapped out, and Houston's got it. Roberts up the floor on Harris. Left-hand layup misses. Stick back good for Wilson, and Houston has cut it to 2 on a 7-0 run.
Yeah, back-to-back buckets in transition. The three by Cryer, then that time, big guy following it up.
Houston tightening the screws defensively, and this intensified defense is frustrating Kansas. Zeke for 3. Misses off the side iron, and Uzan's got the rebound for Houston. The Cougars could tie or take the lead.
Yeah, getting good looks. You love that look by Zeke. He just misses.
Tugler throws off to Wilson. Somebody guard this guy. He has been unbelievable with 13 off the bench. And now a whistle away from the play and a foul on Flory Bidunga, who was wrestling inside with Roberts. 7-0 Houston run. It is 40-38 Kansas. 17:21 to play. The foul on Flory is his second.
Yeah, Kelvin really barking about the foul calls, so little things like that they're going to call. It was 7-3 in that first half team fouls wise.
KU's only bucket here in the first 3 minutes of the second stanza was on that Karam that bounced right into the hands of Flory Bidunga and led to a dunk. 2-point KU lead. Get it in, Cryer for the tie, in and out, no good. Long rebound ahead of Shaq. Up the floor he comes, to the rim, misses the dunk. Shaquille Moore missed on the jammer, and Houston has the rebound.
Yeah, he had a couple black jerseys chasing him down, so he thought he had to dunk it, and we've seen him do it.
Cryer up and under a wraparound pass, broken up and knocked out of bounds by Kansas. There were 3 Jayhawks there, sticking 6 hands in, and the Karam knocked away will keep it with Houston. 17:01 to play, 40-38 Kansas. Uzan to play it in for the Cougars, former Oklahoma Sooner. Get it into Francis. Man-to-man defense by KU. Cryer driving on Dickinson, throws in the corner. Wilson for the lead, misses. Rebound Hunt. KU dodges a bullet. Here comes Kansas. Harris up the floor, leans, floats, finds Zeke for 3. No, he missed it, side iron. Another good look by Mayo that just won't go down. Yeah, rebound Houston.
Yeah, and Zeke's 2 buckets have been layups. And
on the other end, Uzan misses. Rebound Mayo. Yeah, Zeke's 2 buckets were literally 20 minutes of game time ago, way back in the first 4 minutes of regulation.
If there's anybody on the court should keep shooting, it's Zeke Mayo.
Mayo drives and kicks off to Harris. Right side, Shaquille Moore. Hawks clinging to a 2-point lead. Dickinson trying to post up inside. He looks tired. Harris finds Dickinson on the left elbow, faces up, oh boy, bad shot, rebound Houston. You can see it coming. Bill Self is hot. Here comes Houston.
And like you said, tired legs. You know, he looked tired on the offensive possession, and then you take a bad shot.
Exactly. He was in no position to take that shot. Houston got an easy board. Roberts jump hook good over a fatigued Dickinson. Timeout, Bill Self. Houston has completed the comeback as they were down 9 to start the half, but it's an 11-2 run and 9-0 overall to tie this thing up. 40-40, timeout, Bill Self.
Yeah, tired group right there in the first 4 minutes, and you just can't have that. Got some good looks. Dewan, Shaq, couple by Zeke, unable to convert. 0-4 from the three-point line, and like you said earlier, the only bucket you got is the dunk by Flory Badunga, and he gave Houston confidence and momentum. Got a brand new ball game.
I've asked you this 2 of the last 3 games. How much are we missing KJ right now? What would he be doing to break up the Houston run and provide some defensive versatility on a guy like Wilson, who I think right now Kansas is struggling to find a matchup for?
Yeah, and we've seen KJ guard the best player in the country, Cooper Flagg. So right. He can guard anybody, and the not having him on both ends of the floor is big, but really big on the defensive end.
I would agree. 40 all our score, 15:46 to play on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
The tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On SiriusXM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Coach Self here. When I prepare for a game, I always do my homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Department of Insurance. Smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you. Because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the Svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
Hi, this is Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers, and you're listening to Kansas Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Speaking of Joel Embiid, only 2 Jayhawks in the Bill Self era have had 3 games of at least 4 blocks. Joel Embiid and Flory Badunga. Badunga has come off the floor for A.J. Storr. Hunter Dickinson stays in, but hopefully that 2.5-minute media timeout was enough to get his legs back. He's smiling right now as he talks to Kip Kissinger, but he looked winded for that last sequence on both ends of the floor.
He really did, and he was winded during the offensive possession, and nothing was going on. It was the other guys are winded as well and settled for a bad shot, and that led to a bucket on the other end. And got a brand new ball game, 15:46 to go. All that hard work in the first half to establish that lead. You finished well. Did a nice job. That last bucket by Flory to give us the biggest lead of the day, and then let it all go away. So you knew Houston was coming back. It was too good of a team, and got to really get your grips on L.J. Cryer because he can score in bunches.
How do we bring Zeke Mayo back to life? He is 0 for his last 6.
He's got to keep shooting. You got to keep looking for him, and Zeke's too good of a player to struggle like this.
Harris finds Mayo, but the pass was wide and sails out of bounds. He was getting loose in the corner, but Dewan had to elevate and kind of double clutch on the pass. It's a turnover on Harris.
They had
another timeout on the floor.
And it was a good play set up right out of the timeout. They were going to get Zeke a look in the corner, and it was open. Just a bad pass, and now Houston will have it here in a tie ball game. Second half action is brought to you by Ameritrust Credit Union. the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA.
Matt Omer is about to be introduced to the Kansas crowd, the new volleyball coach at the University of Kansas. He's pretty tall. He's got some muscle. I wonder if he has any eligibility left. We could use another big right now with KJ Adams out. He's about 6'7". What do you think?
He's a big guy, for sure. So excited to have him here in Lawrence with his family, and can't wait to get it started next year. But in the last game, we honored Ray Bouchard as we should, and what a job he did for so many years.
And you were at the restroom when this happened, but I was doing the halftime stats and highlights, and Matt Quattrero, the Royals manager, came up and tapped us on the shoulder live on the air. So a lot of celebrities here, both being recognized on the video board and some just cheering from the stands. But great to see one of the AL Manager of the Year finalists on hand of the Kansas City Royals cheering on the Hawks. KU tied up with Houston 40-all, 15:31 to play on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you thinking about tomorrow? Midco is, and your needs and goals are at the top of our mind. Whether you want to up your internet speed game or end buffering frustration, turn to Midco and turn on a better way to connect. You'll get a partner with a fiber network ready for today and ready to handle anything the future can bring. Go bigger, go higher, go beyond. Midco. Let's go.
LMH Health is pleased to announce that the Ortho Kansas team has earned another clinical milestone, the Joint Commission's Gold Seal of Approval for Advanced Total Hip and Knee Replacement Certification. The certification recognizes the highest standards of care during a total hip and total knee replacement, and LMH is one of 2 Kansas hospitals to earn this honor. Get to know the Ortho Kansas team by visiting lmh.org/Ortho Kansas. Ready to schedule an appointment? Give them a call at 785-843-9125. LMH Health, a partner for lifelong health.
Hey Jayhawk fans, it's Coach Self. Here at Kansas Athletics, we know success isn't accomplished alone. It's all about the team. That's why we are proud to team up with Ameritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. Team Ameritrust knows every play matters and every moment leads to a winning game plan. They have the resources you need to save, spend, borrow, and plan along your financial journey. Stop by a Ameritrust location today or visit ameritrustcu.org. Together, it's a win. Rock Chalk.
15:31 to go. 40-all our score. A 9-0 Houston run in which Kansas has gone 0 for its last 7. A scoring drought of 418. Harris just turned it over before the timeout. KU's got to get momentum back and quickly as these Cougars are surging.
Yeah, turnovers haven't been a problem. I talked about that being such a key to the game. Only 3 on the day, but that last one was big where Kansas needed to get something, couldn't afford an empty possession, and that's just what they got.
40-all. Houston with the ball, searching a lead. They lob ahead to Roberts. Storr pushes him on the catch. Boy, that was a little ticky-tack, but Marcus Pettigrew, who...
That's called a catch-up.
Yep, he was standing right in front of Kelvin Sampson, who's been reaming him all day.
And it was a foul. I mean, let's not get it wrong here. He pushed him, but when they don't lose possession or fall down and they still have it, that's when most officials don't call it, but... 7-3 in that first half. They're going to get those calls.
There's been pushing like that going on every trip down the floor.
Right.
40-all the score. Uzan splits 2 defenders, leans in, altered by Hunt, but it crawls in. Touched every part of the right side of the iron and bounced through. 42-40. It's an 11-0 Cougar run. Houston in front by 2. Moore, a lob, too tall for AJ. It tips off his hands and intercepted. And Bill Self signaling for Rylan Griffin to get in the game.
That's the 3rd time this half that Shaq haven't made a good pass. I mean, let's be honest. So back-to-back turnovers by Kansas after Houston took a 2-point lead.
Roberts fouled by Storr, and the shot misses, but 2 free throws coming for Jawan Roberts, who will have a chance here to stretch this lead out to 3 or 4.
Yeah, they're tightening things up a little bit. Those little bumps that weren't called in the first half are now being called. And you got to figure out how to play the way they're officiating. And right now, Kansas playing with their hands instead of their feet.
Roberts out of St. Thomas Virgin Islands, a southpaw shooter who bricks the first free throw. It was not close. He shoots them at only 58%. Now 21 of 37 on the year. So if this is a tight game late, and we would expect it to be, that's the guy you want to send to the stripe on a team that otherwise is very, very good from the free throw line. Second free throw also misses. It's a flat rock with side spin, and those are not two good things to combine on a shot. 42-40, KU trailing, but they get the ball on the defensive rebound. Zeke kicks out to Ryland, fakes on the three, throws back to Mayo. Out to Harris now between the circles. Screen comes from Storr. Back to AJ. Fades, floats, misses with a brick. Try to bank it in awkwardly. And the rebound is Uzan of Houston. Cougars with the ball and a 2-point lead. Wilson driving. Kicks back to Cryer. Cryer had to reach out to get it. Now fades and hits. A fading 15-footer from the free throw line is good. Greg, it's a 13-0 Cougar run. An anxious Kansas crowd imploring the Jayhawks to get it going.
That's what scorers do. LJ kind of off a bad foot, just knocks another one down.
Dickinson finds Storr, broken up by Houston's Wilson. It'll stay with Kansas, and they may have caught a break there.
Yeah, they had the numbers there. The double team came. That was the right pass. Thought AJ might have fumbled that out, but with 13 on the clock, Kansas will keep it. Got to get something going. Like the play where DeJuan and Hunter on that left side, little left to right action off the screen.
It's a scoring drought of 6-12. KU 0 for their last 8. Mayo, can you be the savior? Zeke pulls up for a long deuce. Hit it! Like manna from heaven, he halts a 6.5-minute scoring drought, and KU within 2.
Got to get that action going with the screen and roll. Hunter and Zeke have been so lethal with that, and two guys go to paint. That left Zeke wide open from the top of the key.
44-42 Houston. That halted a 13-0 run. Uzan picks up his dribble, deflected by Zeke, but right back to him, so he gets a new dribble. Uzan, ball on a string, spins, stumbles, looked like he walked inside Roberts, and he lays it in.
Yeah, sure looked like a walk. And he's saying that he didn't have control of it, and Doug Sermon's saying it's not his goal. Nobody's call, I guess.
46-42 Houston. Griffin in the corner, nearly knocked to the ground by Wilson. Man-to-man defense by the Cougs. They play it into Dickinson, hooks a pass to Ryland. He wants the three, missed it short, and Uzan with the board. Kansas can't throw it in the ocean right now. One of their last 10.
Proper pass, good look by a good shooter. It's right now nothing going offensively for Kansas.
Cryer inside, up and under for Francis, and the foul by the flat-footed Dickinson. It's an and one for Houston.
Yeah, the penetration right there, drew the big, perfect little dump down, and just no defense under there. Bill's going to get Flory Badunga back in the game, but what a run to start this half. 17-4 blitzing by the Houston Cougars visiting Allen Fieldhouse.
So up to a 6-point Houston lead. The foul on Dickinson is his first. And Xavier Francis goes to the line where he shoots him at 69%. Student section making a traveling motion to try to throw him off his game. Free throw in and out, no good. Rebound Dickinson. Hunt with his 5th board to go along with 12 points. He's scoreless here in the second half after leading the way in the first. Hawks down 6, 48-42. Mayo, left wing, defense flashes high, picks up the dribble, finds Harris. 12 minutes to play. KU in the deep freeze right now, being outscored 17-2 on the run.
Gotta go.
Zeke with 5 on the clock. Leans in, lost the handle, live ball turnover. Roberts up the floor, layup misses, but a late whistle by Doug Sermons bails him out. The good news is he's one of the worst free throw shooters in the Big 12, but he clearly missed. Kansas was going to have the board, and they'll get 2 free throws as the crowd sees a replay that they do not agree with. A little bit of a bump, though.
Well, and a bad call, but if they didn't call it, Houston was right there for the follow-up, so bad free throw shooter going to the line, probably best case scenario right there after the live ball turnover by Zeke Mayo.
What is the answer for Kansas offensively? One of their last 10, now they're coughing it up. they have not handled this intensified Houston pressure well at all.
Yeah, they haven't, and they've been double teaming just like they did in the first, but Kansas was coming to meet the pass. They were making shots. They were getting to the rim, and right now everything is settling for three-pointers, 0 of 5 beyond the arc, or mid-rangers, and Houston right now is imposing their will and making Kansas uncomfortable.
Hawks shooting just 18% in the second half. Equity Bank, Kansas-based for Kansas fans. Rock Chalk. EquityBank.com.
The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where family come first.
It's a 17-2 Houston run. Free throws for the Cougars when we come back. 48-42 Houston on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Behind my desk in the hospital is a wall of cards, letters, and thank you notes. They're from our patients, their children, their families, expressing thanks for how we've helped them. Every note we get goes right up on that wall. And it doesn't happen often, but whenever I need a reminder that what we do is making a difference for people, I look back at that wall. And immediately, I'm inspired to continue doing all I can.
The University of Kansas Health System. Why would you go anywhere else?
And now an important message from our coaches' wives.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis,
988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support.
You'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors
who will listen to your concerns and connect you to additional resources if needed.
There is hope.
You are not alone.
For 24/7 non-judgmental support,
call, text, or chat 988.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Dillon's for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Dillon's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hi, this is Keith Langford, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
The Houston Cougars, who won the Big 12 a year ago and right now are undefeated in league play at 7-0, are trying to steal the flag from the previous flag carriers in this conference. If they were to win today, they'd go up 3 games on Kansas in the win column. And yeah, it's a long season, I get it, but man, that feels, I don't want to say insurmountable, but that would be a Grand Canyon-like gap. As good as this Houston team is, you just don't see them stubbing their toe a ton. So these final 11:44, down 6 on your home court, are of paramount importance if KU wants to stay in this league race.
Yeah, and then you got to defend your home court. We already failed once on December 31st against West Virginia. Can't do it again. Can't stub your toe again. Now, Roberts goes back to the line where he missed 2 earlier this half pretty badly.
Include those 2 misses, and he's down to 55% on the year. This one misses as well. Again, sidewinding with a flat rock on it.
Sidewinding is a good description. That's not the way the rotation's supposed to look. So if you're Hunter and Flory, got to really get a box out knowing this is probably coming off.
In and out, no good. He's 0 for 4. KU remains down just 6.
Yeah, keep that one in mind if you go into a... Doesn't really rhyme with Roberts, but...
Griffin lobs inside for Hunt. Double team, throws off to Flory. Lays it up and in. 6 now for Flory, and KU within 4. I wanted to see the dunk. I think you did too.
But he smartly didn't try because he was just a little too far away. Wanted the sure one. We saw a missed dunk earlier this half by Shaq Moore. Desperate need of a bucket. Here comes that double team by Kansas.
Trap on Roberts. Passes out of it to Wilson. Wide open. Sharp for 3. Misses. Rebound Bidunga. And here comes Kansas down 4. Griffin up the floor. Dribbles in. Cut off by Wilson. They'll kick it back out. Harris driving right side. A lob to Flory. Too tall, but he was pushed and bailed out. And they're going to say that was an attempt to catch and dunk. Doug Sermons is going to give him 2 free throws.
I didn't think there was any chance he could catch that, get a hand on it. From our perspective, it looked like it was going over to the courtside people. But they are going to give him 2.
Well, Flory is the KU version of Roberts when it comes to free throw shooting, but he's been a little better of late. He's right at 55%, the same mark of Roberts. And he's going to get 2 shots here, so get at least one, Flory.
I'm with you. I was surprised that was called a shot attempt.
The southpaw bends at the knees, shoots, and got it. Just like last Saturday, it looked like a brick. It was long. It hit the heel in the bridge, popped straight up, and fell through.
I'm going to say this next stat after this free throw.
Don't want to jinx it, okay?
Right. Got the nice bounce there.
One more coming for the lefty.
There you go. Perfect. 6 of his last 6. Flory Badunga on a little 4-0 run after Kansas went down 6.
The big boy ball was making him look a little bit outclassed early, but he has for Kansas 8 of their last 10 points. KU down 2. Harris hounding Wilson out front. Now he picks up Cryer. 12 to shoot. They switch. Cryer gets around Juan. Throws up wildly, but a foul is called, and they just fouled the best free throw shooter in America. David Coit saying there should have been a palm or a carry.
Well, what Hunter's asking for, I think Roberts got his elbow into Hunter and pushed him right into Cryer. Yeah, sure enough, they missed a big one right there. And that's what Bill's asking as well. I mean, he got thrown into L.J. Cryer going to the basket.
You know what's interesting? With these video boards that they have underneath the big public video board, the officials can now get a good look at it when a coach is telling them they missed the call.
Well, and the question would be, was he making a basketball play? It wasn't above the shoulders or anything, but it was a clear push in the back. And there's a basketball gods coming down as L.J. Cryer, 95% shooter, misses the first of 2.
Just his 3rd miss all year. So Pettigrew, as Self was telling him what they missed, was looking up and looking at the whole replay from those under the video board monitors.
Yeah, it's a veteran group at Houston. That was a smart play by Houston, man. Especially if you get away with it. Oh, my
missed
God.
them both. My goodness. Go buy a lottery ticket. Haley's Comet might be coming. He'd only missed 2 all year, and he misses the pair, does Cryer. Kansas down 2. Dickinson gets around his man. Wild shot, misses, but he's fouled.
And there's your makeup right there. Not much there. Hunter will go to the line, can tie it up. And that's why you lobby. That's why you complain.
KU opened 1 of 5 from the free throw line with good shooters doing the missing. But their 2 centers have now gone 4 for their last 4. Can Hunter Dickinson keep it coming?
Yeah, in this day and age, you don't hear that very often. If he knocks down the first of 2 centers. Right. Centers is kind of a position that is kind of gone away. Like, there's not a lot of Patrick Ewings the big guys now shoot 3s and get triple doubles.
Hunter, a true center, Flory, a forward/center. Second free throw also good. Kansas has tied it up. It's a 6-0 Jayhawk run in the last minute 12.
Kansas makes 4 free throws. Houston misses 4.
Unbelievable. 10-13 to go. 48 all our score. This building is back into it.
Yeah, you get it with Roberts, but not with Cryer. So Biggie Coit's got a tough challenge right here, trying to stay in front of L.J. Cryer.
Screen comes, deep 3, misses, rebound on the deck. Houston's got it. Francis tracked it down in the corner. A fresh 20 to work with. Off to Cryer. Diggy was right there on the catch. Cryer gets around his man. Dumps down across the blocks. Roberts missed the bunny. Tip try won't go. Rebound Dickinson.
How about that? You're right. He missed the bunny. That was a dunk.
Here comes Kansas. Harris finds Flory. Big time jammer. That goal still shaking. Bidunga throws it down.
That's why you want athleticism on the floor. Kelvin Sampson's going to get a timeout. A big run by Houston to start the second half. Kansas on a run of its own. 8-0 over the last 2 minutes plus. Regains the lead. First one to 50. Kansas up to 50-48.
Listen to this building roar. Kansas on the 8-0 run. Surges in front by 2. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball. $50-48 Kansas. Who would have thunk it? Cryer, the best free throw shooter in the league, goes 0 for 2, and Flory Bidunga sinks his pair. So does Dickinson. Then on a breakdown, Flory gets a big dunk, and hey, I'll be honest, I was the one bringing it up for the first 16, 18 minutes of this game. The muscle and the size, the thickness, the physicality of Houston looked to be too much for the very thin Kansas freshman.
And that's why you had to get him in space, and that's exactly what Bill Self and his staff have done. They've allowed him to space the floor a little bit, get him some opportunities like that last possession, and he's adapted too as well. You know, we were high-low game, getting him to underneath, 3 black jersey be around him. We haven't seen that this half for a reason.
He got the buzzer beater in the first. He has 8 of KU's 12 here in the second half, so 10 of their last 14 coming from Flory Bidunga.
And they started with not started, but right in the middle, 2 free throws.
9:20 to go. This joint is jumping. They may be down 1,000 seats after the $52 million renovation, but the field house loud as ever right now in the midst of this 8-0 Kansas run, and it's a scoring drought of 3 minutes for Houston.
It's been a half of droughts and a half of runs, and who's going to be able to stop the other team on a run and who can build a lead back out and keep it.
Kansas had a drought of 6:20. Houston on a drought of 3+ minutes. 9:10 to go. Hawks by a deuce. Uzan dribbling out front. Houston in the road, black unis, red numerals. Uzan driving on Juan, fades, floats, misses. Rebound Harris of Kansas. And he says that Uzan was pushing off. DeJuan tells Doug Sermons it should have been a foul, and then gave him a thumbs up as he ran down the floor as if to say, I think he heard me. Harris to Harris. It's going to be Harris to Dickinson. Up the Flory. Big to big, post to post, and another dunker by Flory Bidunga.
Another great play call by Bill Self. You think it's going to be DeJuan to Flory that time. It was big to big.
Miss on the other end by Roberts, gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Uzan. Hawks by 4, 52-48. Uzan rejected by Dickinson, but a foul came first on the floor, they say. And the foul's going to go on DeJuan Harris, his first. How about the quick find by Hunter Dickinson? You said it the day we signed him. This is one of the best big man passers in America. The vision and the quick release to set up Bidunga.
Well, he sees the whole floor. And right there, you know, with Flory, it doesn't have to be a great pass just anywhere around the rim. He's going to release and get up and do it. And, man, what a half by Flory. He's now got 12, only had 2 in the first half, but he's been the catalyst. Bill Self's going to get Hunter Dickinson at the 8:22 mark to give him that extra under 8 timeout just to get a blow and go the rest of the way.
The career high for Flory Bidunga is 13. That was versus a team called Howard. Whole different deal when you get 12 versus Houston, the number 7 team in the country, the number 1 team in the conference, at least for now. Free throw misses by Uzan. Wow. Rebound Bidunga.
0 of 8 from the free throw line for Houston. We talked about it with Kansas in the first half. Houston giving it right back.
Unbelievable. They normally shoot 74%. Store, drive inside, pushed to the back by Arsenault. That'll be the 4th foul on the Cougars, so no free throws for Store, who aggressively took it inside.
Yeah, an interesting lineup right now. No DeJuan Harris, no Hunter Dickinson on the floor. Diggy Coit will be running the point with help from Zeke Mayo.
52-48 Kansas.
We've done an unbelievable job this half of free throw defense.
Yeah, no kidding. Could have said the same about Houston's free throw defense in the first half. Zeke, right wing area, flings it inside to Store, kicks to Diggy, fakes on a 3. Back to Zeke with 8 to shoot. Looking to drive on Cryer, cut off, leans in, flings to Ryland in the corner, and he caught it out of bounds.
Yeah, and that was a tough pass, and that's not on Ryland. I mean, Zeke was right there about 5 feet away, and he threw a high pass, and when Ryland came down, he was out of bounds. Not a live ball turnover, which things we don't like. That's now the 7th turnover for Kansas. Houston will have it, heading the other way.
Back-to-back tough games for Zeke after he was the hero here a week ago in the Dillon Sunflower Showdown.
Looking for a job? Have you considered a job in the oil and natural gas industry? We're currently paying our highest wages in history. Find out more at kansasstrong.com.
The Center for Human Services is a provider of family and child development, disability, and autism services. For more information on how you can support your community, visit chs-mo.org. 52-48 Kansas. Houston right now on a scoring drought of 4.5 minutes. This on the heels of KU's scoring drought that was nearly 6.5 minutes. Hawks by 4 with 7:51 to play on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was going to have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
7:51 to go. Kansas in front by 4. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to slice and dice a two-possession game. You can look at a bad pass here or a made bucket there, but if you want to get really, really simplistic, Greg Gurley, on how the Hawks are up 4 right now and how they've gone on a 10-0 run of late, look at free throw shooting on both sides.
0 of 8 this half by Houston. Kansas made all 4. You talk about a 4-point game, low-scoring game. That's the difference in the game right now.
Amazing. And Houston, again, like I said, 74% as a team, and that includes a really bad shooter like Roberts, who's at 54%. So when they got guys like Cryer missing a pair, you know something's off. KU in front by 4 right now. You're 5 on the floor. Bidunga, Storr, Diggy, Griffin, and Mayo.
It's obviously something about the rims on the south end of Allen.
Is that what it is?
It was struggled for us, struggle for them. We'll take it. Kansas overall 7 of 11. Houston 4 of 12.
Uzan to throw it in from the corner right in front of the Kansas bench. Nearly had a 5-second call. Then it's batted right back out of bounds by David Coates.
Yeah, that seemed like a long 5.
Were they counting off Mississippi's or Texas's?
They were counting off Biloxi, Mississippi's.
Yes. 48 points for Houston is all they've been able to muster. And how about this? Arsenault injured going off the floor.
We've had several Cougars. Arsenault, Sharp, I think Roberts earlier. They've all, something's going on.
He's clutching his knee.
And they've gotten absolutely nothing from Sharp today, who's a guy I've watched a ton. And, man, in other games that I've seen him play, he can really shoot the ball. And he's on a big goose egg right now, 0-4 from the field.
Keep it in the hands of Uzan to play it in bounds. He does this time with ease and finds Wilson, who gives it right back. Malik Wilson's been quiet in the midst of this drought. He was on fire earlier in their 17-2 run.
Yeah, good help that time by Flory as Cryer got a little bit of an opening.
Oh, a pass post to post and an easy dunk for Francis inside. Give Roberts credit on the find and the feed. It's down to a 2-point KU lead.
Yeah, early on, that was a good defensive possession. Then they got penetration in the paint and got an easy one.
Halts a scoring drought of about 450 for Houston. Mayo with the ball for Kansas. 7:10 to play. 52-50 KU. Coit, right side Griffin. He wants a three. He'll get a three. Rylan Griffin from the wing. His second triple of the ball game. Griffin coming alive.
That's why you get Rylan Griffin out of the transfer portal. Dead-eye shooter.
Cryer, does he have an answer? No. Rebound, Diggy Coits. His second big defensive board of the day. Here comes Coits. Picks up his dribble on the tail feather of the Jayhawk. Throws off to Storr on the left wing. Now Mayo waiting on a screen. It doesn't come, so he dribbles it out top.
Yeah, and this where Zeke can just go to work one-on-one.
Mayo crosses over on Wilson. Drives in, a jump stop. Flings back for Storr. AJ launches a three. Misses badly. Rebound Houston. Not a good encore for Storr today after the 12 points on a Wednesday. He's 0 for 5. Wilson inside on Zeke, and he has got Houston back within 3. He took it right into the chest of Mayo, then pulled up and swished from 8 feet.
The guy who averages less than 5 points a game is leading them in scoring. The only guy in double figures.
Diggy on a drive is blocked, but also fouled. He'll get a couple of free throws.
That was a bailout right there. Diggy had nothing going, but he got hit down low, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Because he's almost always the shortest player on the floor, his move on a blow-by drive when the help side defense is coming is to throw off quick release teardrop like over the top of a hand. It's a beautiful shot when you hit it, but how realistic is it against the length of the Big 12?
Yeah, not a high percentage shot when you're at his size, but he's done a nice job as he makes the first of 2 here from the free throw line. 3 rebounds for Diggy.
Yes.
He does get in there and mix it up. So
Storr comes out, by the way.
Yeah, dividends paid in Fort Worth on Wednesday. Hit that transition 3. Now a couple points. He made 2 free throws in that game. Couple here right there, so good minutes by Diggy Coit. DeJuan Harris and Hunter Dickinson, who went to the bench at the 8:22 mark, are now back in. They got probably about 6 or 7, maybe 8 minutes of real-time rest.
Kansas trying to complete the comeback and pulled it within a game of Houston in the Big 12 standings. 57-52 Jayhawks with 5:45 to go. Uzan inside Francis. Turns, pivots, misses. Rebound offensively to Roberts, and a tie-up is called. It'll be Houston ball on the arrow. Good job by Flory to get a hand in on a much more physical Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts, he's got a body on him, and the skinny Flory Badunga got in there, and Houston will keep it, but that was going to be a surefire layup.
57-52. Maybe the only other outcome you would have liked was fouling Roberts. Cryer throws, tipped by Zeke, caught by Uzan. He drives, fires backwards for Wilson, drives inside, floats, misses. Rebound Flory, but he had it knocked away. Stick back Houston, no. Rebound Kansas.
Wow, they are relentless on the glass. DeJuan able to pick that one off.
Hunter knocked it out to Harris. Now Dickinson to Zeke. Thought about a long 3. He'll drive instead. Spins, shoots, misses, but he's fouled. A Jacques Vaughn-esque pirouette is good enough to get him to the free throw line.
And a night he'd like to forget offensively, 3 of 10, but maybe a couple free throws. And I say that in the first half. He struggled from the line, but nice spin move, got around the defenders. Clearly a foul, and maybe a couple free throws will get him going. Ability to get this back to a 7-point lead.
Been a bizarre day for free throw shooters. Cryer at 95% on the year, missed a pair. Mayo at 84% on the year, 1 for 3.
Yeah, we get the Roberts thing for Houston, but not. There's a mess again by, he kind of short-armed that one, and now it's in his head. He's too good of a shooter right now. Got to get this one down.
57-52 Kansas. That was an opportunity to make this a 3-possession game with 5 minutes to go had he hit the pair, but he can still push it to a 6-point lead with this second one. Bend those knees. He does, he hits.
That was a look of frustration on his face after he hit that one. Like, what am I doing? But he steps up, knocks it down. Hawks back up by 6.
58-52 Kansas. 5 minutes to play. Houston with the ball. Cryer out to Roberts between the circles. Sharp is checked back in, but he's been ice cold. Roberts takes the pass on the right short corner. Backing down on Flory. Hooks a pass inside Tugler, and he banks it in. Hunter had slid over on help defense, and Roberts, with eyes in the back of his head, and found the open Tugler.
And there really wasn't a double team. He shouldn't have been that open. Good interior passing by the Houston Bigs.
4-point KU lead, 4:33 to play. Bidunga at the free throw line. Right side, Ryland. Trying to get it to Hunter. All kinds of arms to throw it through. Hooks a pass over the top. Now Mayo fakes on a 3. Launches a 2. Missed it again badly. Rebound Tugler inside. It was short and wide left. And Zeke is now 3 of 11. Make it 3 of 11 overall and 1 of 6 from 3. Houston with the ball, down 4, 4:05 to play. Roberts plowing into Flory. Jump hook, good.
He's been doing that all game. That's 5 of those. He's 5 of 12 with that little running left-hander.
It's what Jefferson did to Bidunga, too. These physical, thick 23-year-olds taking it right into the belly of the skinny freshman. 58-56 Kansas. Hawks with the ball. Dickinson inside. Flory catches, finds Hunter. Left-hand layup is good. Post to post, and Dickinson with a drum roll celebration as that ball crawled in.
Right after Houston cuts it to 2. Great interior passing and finish by Hunter Dickinson. Builds this lead back to 4 with a chance to make it 5 after the break.
How about David McCormick was our best drumming big man, but Hunter Dickinson with a new way to celebrate? Or were those gun motions? Either way, he was fired up. And the and one is courtesy of a post to post to post pass.
And we've seen that a lot on the Houston end, but the big man passing on both teams have been great. We saw Hunter throw it up top to Flory earlier in the game. Flory with a patient move. Drew 2 defenders, perfect little drop down right when Kansas needed it.
He'll have a chance to complete the three-point play when we come back. 3:39 to go. Kansas leading 60-56 on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high. Legends are created. School pride hangs in the balance. Memories that last a lifetime will be made. Because each game is the most important game in history. At least until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, this is Ryan Robertson, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
3:39 to go, and 15,300 are on their feet, jumping, stomping, clapping, imploring these Jayhawks to finish the fight. Kansas leads 60-56 with a free throw pending for Hunter Dickinson, who's got 16 points, 8 rebounds, and close to logging what would be one of his biggest wins in a Kansas uniform.
Yeah, after allowing Houston to get out to that big lead early on in the second half, they fought back, went on a run of their own, but just a couple of possessions ago, Houston gets it to 2, and then you get the big and one by Hunter Dickinson, hopefully an and one here, as he'll have the free throw out of this timeout, and clock's running down, 3:39 to go, and a couple possession game.
This half, KU is 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and Houston 0 for 8. That remains a huge discrepancy. Free throw good for Dickinson, pure swish. 5-point KU lead, 3:39 to go.
And I'll tell you what, DeJuan Harris has done a great job on L.J. Cryer. He has not got an inch. When he's gotten buckets, it's been on switches.
Keep in mind, here a year ago, he had 24 on 6 threes. Here's a foul on Bidunga, who got airborne and landed on top of Tugler. And that's going to lead to a 1-and-1 for Houston. Tugler is not a good free throw shooter, so even though Flory didn't mean to do that, that might have been a stroke of genius.
Yeah, and it'll be a 1-and-1. Wasn't in the act of shooting. Tugler's had himself a good game as well. 8 points on 4-4 from the field. Hunter and Flory really got to get a good box out, and Zeke and Ryland have to pinch. Free throw.
Good for a 54% foul shooter, and a collective sigh of relief along that Houston bench. That's their first make in the second half. Previously 0 for 8, and the guy that made it had the worst numbers on the team. One more coming. Misses. Rebound Kansas. Zeke Mayo. 3:22 to go. KU by 4. 61-57. Mayo to walk it up the floor. Harris gets a screen from Bidunga. Rolls, flings back to Zeke. Low catch. Tries a 3. In and out, no good. Flory taps it to himself. He goes up and should be goaltending. And it is. Count the bucket. The freshman having the game of his life.
That's one of the best rebounds I've ever seen. He does an amazing job of tipping it to himself, using his length, and then gets the bucket. They'll go look at the monitor, but it was
Previous
on the
play
rim.
is under review.
And they knocked it off, so it's gonna. Well, gosh, it might have been. Oh, it might have been Flory that knocked that out. Flory put his hand through the net. That might I'll have to take a look at this one.
It's hanging up on the iron. A hand reaches up underneath, and I think it is Flory's hand.
Yeah, I think they're going to take this one off the board. They originally called defensive goaltending, but as they go look at this, I think this crowd isn't going to like this result.
I thought there could have been a foul too.
It looked like he got fouled on his attempt up, and was right in between dunking and laying it in, and then just rolls off and looked like, yep, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a 6-point game, and it'll be Houston's ball. Wonder if they can call a
4-point game. You think it's going to be a 4-point?
Oh, I'm sorry. They already put the score up on the clock. You're right. It's 63-57 right now. I think they're going to make it 61-57.
Yeah, they're still taking their time before announcing it, but this clear as day, it looks like Bidunga's hand through the cylinder, knocking out his own shot.
The question is, they called it defense. Can they switch it?
Now Pettigrew comes over for a word with Sermons. Crowd's cheering because there's a baby who has a relative holding up a sign that's saying it's my first birthday and I'm spinning it in the field house. This play under review is brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health.
Doc Sadler, Curtis Townsend, and Hunter having a conversation with Doug Sermons, and didn't get much of a reaction out of those guys. They're probably not.
After review.
Here we go.
After review, Kansas number 40 touches the ball up through the rim. Houston ball, 3:04 on the clock.
And that's the right call. Crowd groaning in disappointment there, but they all saw it too. So they'll eventually take the 2 points off the board, and it will lead 61-57.
And obviously, Flory didn't mean to do it. He kind of just jumped up, and he's just so bouncy. He got his hand in the rim, and
an athletic play.
But again, the athleticism of getting that offensive rebound.
We've missed that from the 5 spot ever since Udoka left. An above the rim player, this time a through the rim player, unfortunately takes 2 points off the board. Houston with the ball. They enter into Roberts, down 4. Backing down on Hunt. Hunter holding his ground. Roberts turns. They call a foul. He banks it in. Unbelievable shot for Jawan Roberts. And Houston has pulled it within 2 with a free throw pending. How in the world did that thing go in?
Yeah, and Hunter didn't just go straight up. He kind of reached down a little bit. It's clearly a foul on that right arm. It's the right call. I thought maybe it could be a 3-second call because Roberts was in there forever. But he gets his prayers answered with a wild attempt, and he needed it because he struggled mightily from the free throw line.
0 for 4 tonight, but he hits this one with a pure swish.
And how about that turn of events? Thought you had a 6-point lead, goaltending, offensive goaltending, and then a 3-point play. It is a 1-point game.
61-60 Kansas, 2:34 to go. Mayo throws out to Griffin, fakes on a deep three, feeds into Hunter. Back out to Harris with 12 on the clock. DeJuan driving right baseline, gets airborne, finds Griffin for 3. He got it! Rylan Griffin again! A third triple, the breakout game for Griffin.
And DeJuan Harris draws the defense. Rylan fades to the corner. Third 3 of the night. Perfect timing. Kansas needed that one.
Off to Roberts, gets around Hunt, blocked by Bidunga inside as Roberts hit the deck.
Talk about a ton of contact going up. Kelvin Sampson is on his knees over in the coaching box. He's still on his knees.
Is he praying or begging for a call? I can't tell. 64-60 Kansas, 1:41 to go. Harris left wing, 8 on the shot clock. Gets a ball screen from Bidunga, drives back to Flory, a two-hand jammer! He fires it through! Wando on the feed, Bidunga on that flush!
Patient play by DeJuan Harris through the defense. Perfect pass to Flory. What a half by the freshman. Kelvin Sam's going to get a timeout, and he might get a technical. He is all over Doug Sermons right now. And this is a bad time to get one because they're still in this ball game. Only 2 possessions. Doug Sermons did the good thing of just walking away.
He can.
I thought there was a ton of contact. I was shocked that there wasn't a call.
And he said repeatedly, "How do you not call that? How do you not call that?" And here's 2 Kansas announcers agreeing that there was probably contact to warrant a whistle there, but KU capitalizes.
Well, and if it was our guy, we would have been clamoring for a foul, obviously. But the great thing about this building, sometimes you get those. A minute 19 to go. It'll be Houston's ball, down 6.
Flory Bidunga now with a new career high. And like I said, with all due respect to Howard, it's one thing to have your career high in November in an on-con game. It's another to have it in a top 10 Big 12 title bout deeper into the year, and that's what he's delivered today. 6 of 8, 14 points, 7 rebounds.
And let's go back to 2 possessions ago. Not a whole lot going offensively. DeJuan Harris gets the turn on the right side. We've seen him do it 1,000 times, gets under the basket, throws it to the corner, and Rylan Griffin, that's why he's on the floor. 9 points, 3 3-pointers. That was a massive shot after Houston had cut it to 1.
The decibel meter reading 120. It's loud in here. 1:19 to go. Kansas by 6. But you gotta close them out.
I think the rest of the Big 12 is probably rooting for Kansas.
That's a rarity.
That's a rarity for sure.
Uzen puts up a floater that falls. The former Sooner with a big shot right there to cut it to 4 with 1:05 to play.
Now their float game's been good all day.
Hawks in the bonus. The next foul on Kansas will put Houston in the double bonus.
Both teams have 2 timeouts if you get in trouble.
Mayo driving on Uzan. Cut off, kicks it back to Harris. 10 to shoot, 46 on the game clock. Hawks by 4. Harris gets a screen out to Mayo with 5 to shoot. The crowd letting him know. Leans in on a 3. They don't call a foul. He got drilled in the corner, but Pettigrew says all ball. KU will keep it with 1.7 to shoot.
And the frustrating part about that, we saw that here against West Virginia, and they called it. So now Kansas 1.7, got to get something quick.
Mayo lobs into Hunt, broken up, and the shot clock expires. That is an unbelievable call. And Pettigrew knows it as he walks over right in front of us.
How you don't call that is beyond me. I mean, clear contact. Wow.
That is a game-shifted play. And Mark is hearing it right now from the Kansas fans. He's called a great game. He's a veteran official. We're not getting on him.
But he missed that one.
But that's definitely one that upon further review.
And again, we go back 3 weeks ago. Javon Small did that to Flory. Clearly a foul. Should have been 3 free throws, but now Houston will have it. Down 4 with 35 seconds to go.
Brad Fischilla giving him a thumbs up saying good call. We're going to get a timeout here as they sort this out. We love Fran. Dressed in a purple suit today in Allen Fieldhouse. You don't often see that. Purple overtones. 66-62, Kansas in front. And again, a ton of respect for Marcus Pettigrew. But that's one right there that the Hawks really felt like they should have had 3 free throws to possibly go up 7.
If that's not a foul, I don't know what is.
Right. So Houston's going to play it in with Sharp. Sharp today, one of the greatest shooters in the Big 12 from 3, has been held 0 for 4 and scoreless. He averages 14 a game. They get it into Cryer, who stumbled on the catch. He brings it up with DeJuan Harris guarding and bounce for bounce. Cryer in the corner to Uzan. 25 seconds to play. Uzan across the paint. Stumbles, got away with a walk. Gets it back. Leans in. A floater. Good. And Houston's within 2 with 16.6 seconds to go. The Cougars still alive. And the crowd saying he traveled. The crowd saying, where was the foul when Zeke was shooting? But for the moment, you have the ball in a 2-point lead. Got to hit your free throws, as surely Houston will look to foul if they don't get a steal.
Yeah, it looks like Bill will get Diggy Coit in the game for more than likely Flory Badunga. He's 6 of his last 6 from the free throw line, but you got to have him out of the ball game. So Kansas still with that 2-point lead. They have to foul. It's a free throw shooting contest right now, but you got to make them both to make it a 2-possession game. And give Houston credit. They didn't just come down and shoot a 3. They were kind of looking for a 3, but Uzan at some point just said, hey, I got to get 2 and get the clock's rolling, and they do the right thing. Curtis Townsend and Marcus Pettigrew are Curtis asking, like, what does he got to do?
Now Doc Sadler comes over and says the same thing. Jeremy Case wants an explanation. You make a great point. I mean, that was a foul in the West Virginia game that cost Kansas, and they can't get the same call 3 weeks later on their own home floor.
And it was clearly a foul on Flory. I'm not saying one wasn't, but Marcus Pettigrew saying one was a bad call or a no call.
Hawks can run the baseline here.
So you got Zeke Mayo throwing it in, and you got Rylan Griffin, DeJuan Harris, and Diggy Coit going to set a series of screens. You do have 2 timeouts left. If in that clock in your head kind of gets down to about 3.5, you got to take it.
Mayo in trouble. Take the timeout. They call 5 seconds. Doug Sermons gives it to Houston. Zeke pleading that he was asking for a timeout, but a 5-second call will give the ball to Houston. Down 2. They can go for the tie or the win. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and it was a long time, and that's where Zeke or somebody on the court's got to run to an official. You had 2 timeouts.
Now Kip Kissinger is bringing the officials together. What's this about? Zeke was pleading that he was trying to signal, but Sermons couldn't see it as he's holding the ball with 2 hands. And Sermons is to his left, 15 feet back. Can they look at this and see if he was trying to call a timeout?
I think they're talking about a substitution for Houston. So now Flory Badunga checks back in. You got to wipe that from your memory and understand that you got to just play good, solid defense. Don't give up an open 3. And man, what a turn of events.
Shaq Moore in the ball game, along with Harris, Mayo, Dickinson, and Badunga, your original 5 starters on the floor. Uzan to play it in. Houston has no timeouts. Uzan looking, gets it in and gets it to Roberts, and he's fouled by Shaq Moore.
Well,
it's double bonus time.
It's not horrible because it's not L.J. Cryer, it's Roberts.
But they'll have a chance to tie it from the free throw line with a guy that just had a pure swish moments ago after going 0 for 4 prior.
And I don't think that was on purpose. I don't think Bill said go out and foul Jerron Roberts because you're up by 2, but not the worst case scenario.
13.9 seconds to go. The student section doing their job, waving furiously back and forth. Free throw good, a pure swish. And it's a 1-point game with 1 more free throw pending for Juwan Roberts. 55% now on the year for the graduate senior out of the Virgin Islands. 2 for 6 today, but the 2 he's made were his last 2 to tie the game. It's good.
How about this half and the free throws?
KU has a chance to win it here in the final 14 seconds. DeJuan Harris, this could be your legacy. He sprints down the floor and Bill Self takes a timeout. He'll draw something up with 11.1 seconds to go. But Jayhawk fans sitting and standing in some cases in stunned disbelief. How did we get here? Up 4 with the ball, and Zeke Mayo looked obviously to have drawn a foul from a three-point shot. Instead, no call, shot clock violation, a floater by Houston, a couple of free throws by Houston, and suddenly we're tied. What will Bill Self draw up with 11 seconds to play?
I think you want the ball in DeJuan Harris's hand, some kind of ball screen, get a little spacing, and you got the pitch over to the corner. You got something at the rim. You just got to create spacing, but you can't take it too early because you want to make sure you take the shot at about 4, maybe 3 seconds, chance for an offensive rebound. Got to be very careful not to go over the back and allow them to get a free throw on the other end. So clock management will be huge. The worst case scenario is you go to overtime.
Typically in these instances, the refs swallow the whistle. Just think about the KJ play at the end of the West Virginia game. But knowing that they just missed a big one moments ago, if it's close, does the whistle get blown?
Yeah, and I watch games all the time, and you see teams in a tie ball game attempt a 3, like a step back 3. You want something at the rim.
Right.
It's a tie game. You don't need a 3. You need 1.
Well, if DeJuan indeed is the initiator, he's had one of the best halves of his senior season, one of the best games of his senior season. That first half, he had 8 points, 7 assists. He's not scored at all in the second half. Zeke Mayo's had one of the most frustrating games of his brief Kansas career. He's going to be the guy playing it in, the trigger man. You've got Ryland Griffin, who's been red hot with 3 threes, and Dickinson and Bidunga, should they look to lob it inside.
So you got DeJuan Harris down low, probably a staggered screen by Flory and Hunter to get him the ball out top.
Zeke Mayo to play it in. Harris collects on the tail feather of the Jayhawk. 11 seconds to go. DeJuan gets a screen from Hunt. Dribbles right side, cut off. Throws to Ryland. He fumbles it out of bounds. And Houston will get it with 1.5 seconds to go.
And they don't have a timeout, so it's go time right now. The worst possible scenario, you don't get a shot up on back-to-back possessions.
Absolute catastrophe in these final 90 seconds. Uzan, will he go for a deep pass? He does. Sharp catches, turns, throws up a prayer. It misses. And we're going to overtime as Houston, riding the back of one huge no call and a 5-second violation on an inbound, sends this thing to extras.
Yeah, he got
in Lawrence.
Pretty good look. Hunter Dickinson got his hand up, made him shoot over Sharp, who hadn't made a shot all day, but man, with 1.5 on the clock, he got a decent look and just short. So now Kansas will have to earn it. Brand new ball game, 5 minutes to go. See what this building can do to kind of get a little momentum right now, because really bad last minute of basketball.
I'm still wondering what Fran Fraschilla saw that warranted a thumbs up to Marcus Pettigrew on the no call when you and I both clearly thought he was fouled. Either way, you got to flush it now and move on. But Kansas stunned that we're here at overtime, and Bill Self was irate that they didn't get off a shot with 11.1 seconds and a chance to draw something up. Ryland Griffin, who's been money in the second half, fumbled it off his foot out of bounds.
Yeah, the double team came off the screen and threw it right to Ron. Yes, back to the basket with about 2.5 on the clock and fumbled it out. And now you gotta push all that out of your memory and get back at it. Understand you got 5 minutes. This is a must-win situation for the Kansas Jayhawks. Not if. They know they want to be in the Big 12 race. Got to get this one.
In overtime, each coach awarded an additional timeout. So Sampson now has one to work with. Bill Self has 2. Flory Bidunga has come out in the jump circle, and I like this because Hunter lost the opening toss and tap with Tugler.
Yeah, not as big a deal in the opening tip, but it's a big deal in overtime. Get an extra possession if you can win this.
Bidunga's had the game of his life. Tossing the tap, won by Kansas. Bidunga tapped it to Dickinson, who batted it back to Griffin. KU gets the first possession. Harris out to Griffin, who fakes on a 3, picks up his dribble, throws ahead to Hunter. Inside Flory, and he's immediately pushed on the catch. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a 1-and-1 coming here for Flory. You got to believe in the rookie. He's been coming on of late from the free throw line.
Yeah, Uzan with 2 elbows to the back. Good hard foul by Houston, and 6 of his last 6. Got to get this one. 1-and-1 as that's the 8th team foul.
First overtime free throws, though, for a young man as this place goes library quiet. Bends at the knees, shoots, misses well, right, and short. He yelled, short. You could hear it. Houston tracks down the rebound. That was his worst miss in a while. 66 all. Cougars with a chance to take the first lead of overtime. Harris guarding Cryer, who's been held in check tonight. Cryer, a floater on the run, misses. Rebound Mayo on the weak side. Here comes Kansas.
Cryer's had a frustrating night. That's now 2 of 12 from the field for one of the most prolific scorers in the country.
After going 9 of 20 here a year ago. Zeke, a deep 3, misses short, rebound Houston. Boy, you think it's going in every time he shoots it, but tonight Mayo is 3 of 13 and 1 of 8 from downtown. So the 27-footers aren't nearly as prosperous. Hawks locked in a 66 all tie. Roberts backing down on Bidunga. Jump hook. Crawls in. Front iron, backboard, and through. And Houston has the lead. 68-66. KU stunned.
Roberts had a couple of those where he just kind of throws it at the rim. Good English on it, and he gets the roll.
Hawks down 2. Griffin with the ball. Out to Bidunga, head of the circle. Harris with Sharp out to guard him, left wing. A floater by Zeke's broken up. Fighting for it are Hawks and Cougars, and a foul's going to be called, I believe, on Bidunga.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get Cryer, I think.
My.
Yeah,
that's a major makeup call.
Yeah, they're going to get a 1-and-1 for Flory. I thought that was going to be Cryer who got fouled, which would have been more than likely 2 points on the other end. Now Flory will go back to the line. 19 foul, still a 1-and-1. Got to hit this first one.
Put it on Roberts, his 3rd. Flory missed the previous front end very badly. Good news is this will be our last 1-and-1, as that was the 9th team foul on Houston. This is not the guy you want shooting front ends. One more coming for Flory. He's had the best game of his career with 14 points. Can he hit this free throw? The crowd will tell you. He does. It was pure. KU down 1 with 3:30 to go in overtime. A.J. Storr checking in for the shooter. So Flory needs to hit this one to tie it and get a brief breather. 2 dribbles with the left hand. Bends at the knees, shoots, swish. Man, that was big. Boy, that was clutch. Tie game with 68 all our score. 3:30 to play, and Storr checks in for Flory.
Probably a 4-point swing. Thought Cryer was going to have 2. Instead, Flory gets a couple, ties it up.
Kansas with some pressure on the inbounds play. Uzan now to bring it up. Former Oklahoma Sooner has 11 tonight. Uzan, little floater, blocked from behind by Harris, but a foul is called. Juan shakes his head thinking he got all ball, but Uzan's going to get 2 free throws. He shoots them at 77%.
Yeah, he got around Juan, and from behind, I think Juan got a piece of his head as he was blocking. It was clean up top, but clearly gets him on, I think, top of the head.
Crowd doesn't like it as the frame-by-frame replay is a little blurry, but I agree with you.
Yeah, and you didn't have any complaints from Juan.
Free throw good by Uzan. 1-point Houston lead. Remember, Houston opened the second half 0 for 8 from the free throw line, including 2 misses by the 95% shooting Cryer. Now Bidunga checks back in for Storr. Flory is, of course, playing with 4 fouls, so that's why they're doing the offense for defense substitutions. Houston by 1. Uzan second free throw. Rattles off. Rebound Mayo of Kansas. KU down 1 with 3:15 to play. Harris initiates offense for Kansas. Left side Mayo.
Here we go.
Jawan collects in the corner. Drives, floats. Griffin fakes on a 3. Now he pulls. Now he hits! Rylan Griffin! Kansas has 4 threes from the transfer, and the Jayhawks surge in front.
Little shot fake, sidestep, knock down the 3. Kansas back by 2.
71-69. Roberts going to work on Dickinson. Jump, stop, and a jump hook that's banked in. Tie game, 71 all. Jawan Roberts has been special here tonight.
Yeah, Roberts and Tugler have really killed our bigs. On the other end, though, Flory and Hunter combining for 33 points.
Zeke on a drive, can't get a whistle, can't get a make. Hunter fighting for the board. Ryland's got it, but it's rejected. It'll stay with KU. Dewan tracked down the rejection 40 feet from the bucket. Griffin, a lob, Flory, deep catch, goes up, blocked, no foul call. Out of bounds off of Houston. Houston wants them to review it as if a Jayhawk touched it last, and they will. Marcus Pettigrew says, no. We're at 2:08, and Kip Kissinger was ready to review it. Now they're not going to. Kansas has had 2 plays in a row at the rim, Greg, with contact and no foul. Oh, he was obviously raked across the left forearm. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Harris will play it in. Dewan, a lob to Flory, deep catch, puts it on the deck. Muggs going up, and this time they do blow the whistle. 2:06 to play, and Bidunga, who just hit a pair, will toe the line again to shoot 2.
They were working on this play this morning, just kind of throwing it up as they were all looking for Zeke Mayo on the wing, and Flory just camped out in the lane. Can jump up and get it and get a bucket, so now he's got to earn them from the free throw line.
Bidunga today is 4 of 5. As Greg told you, he's hit 8 of his last 9. 71 all our score. He gets 2, the first of which is good. How about this young man of Kokomo, Indiana, and previously the Democratic Republic of Congo? Every point he makes extends his career high. He's up to 17 here tonight. One more coming. Bidunga at 6'9", 220. 15,300 go quiet, and he misses it as he fired it too strong off the heel. Rebound sharp of Houston. 1 point KU lead, 2 minutes to play in overtime. Uzan dribbling out top. Roberts going to work on Hunt. Jump hook, good. KU has no answer for Roberts on the jump hook.
Yeah, maybe, a lefty should know that. Maybe make him go right.
Bill Self will take a timeout. I mean, it's demoralizing when you know what's coming and you don't have the ability to stop it. And time again tonight, Roberts with that southpaw jump hook over Dickinson has banked it in. He's now got 21 and 9 makes from the field.
Yeah, not much you can do about that other than play him to the right side and play him to the left side and make him go right. He is a dominant left-handed player and has killed Kansas all night, 9 of 17 from the field. Now, Kansas with the ball down 1.
73-72 Houston, 1:45 to play. With Bill Self taking the timeout, he has 1 remaining. Jayhawks in danger of falling 3 games back of Houston. And yeah, it's a long conference season, but those aren't good numbers. Those aren't good odds. As good as Houston has looked, they are 145 away from going to 8-0, but it's a 1-point ball game, and we're due for a couple more lead changes down the stretch. We've been tied 8 times. The lead has changed 9 times. Hawks have led by as many as 10. Houston's led by as many as 6. Can Kansas steal the lead back here? Zeke Mayo to throw it in. You're 5 on the floor. All the starters, except it's Griffin for Moore. Harris dribbling on the tail feather of the Jayhawk. Throws right side for Zeke. They play it into Hunter. Double team trap comes. Hooks it out to Griffin. He'll drive. Dumps down to Flory. A 2-hand slam. And KU back in front. The penetrating pitch from Ryland Griffin.
And Ryland used his ability to hit the 3 to shot fake. He's done such a nice job of being a facilitator as of late.
KU by 1. Now it's Flory altering the shot of Roberts. He misses this time. Zeke got scratched on the right cheek, but comes up with the rebound. Hawks with the ball and a 1-point lead.
And the switch at that timeout to put Flory on Roberts worked.
74-73 Kansas. 1 minute to play. 1 minute to play in overtime. Griffin a 5th 3. Why not? Ryland Griffin, have yourself a day. A career performance for Griffin.
And the last 2 possessions, he's been amazing. He drives the ball, gets it to Flory. That time knocks the 3 down. Bill Self with a subtle fist pump to Ryland Griffin, saying, that's why we got you here, big fella. A Final Four participant last year with Alabama. He wants to go back to San Antonio this year. Like we all do.
It was almost routine a year ago how often he had 3, 4, or 5 3-pointers for the Crimson Tide. It has been anything but this year. And we talked about even as recently as Wednesday, 1 of 5 from downtown.
And that's what you and I talked about early is like Mark Sears for Alabama, the great point guard for Alabama. He's kind of like DeJuan. He's great at penetrating, drawing defenses, and that's why Ryland had so much success at Alabama. And I thought, okay, we're going to space the floor with Hunter and all of our other shooters, and Ryland's going to get a ton of looks. Well, here we are, what is it, January 25th? It's working now.
It is. That's a new KU career high. He did have 4 makes from 3 at UCF, who, by the way, will be here Tuesday night.
And how about the timeout by Bill Self? After Roberts was abusing Hunter Dickinson, he calls a timeout, which is not really what Bill does. He likes to save him till the end, but he gets it, makes the switch. Flory gets on Roberts and just was patient. He's playing with 4 fouls, didn't try to do too much, and just that athleticism of Flory changed that last shot by Roberts.
It certainly did. I love the adjustment. Completely agree. Griffin, by the way, with the 5 makes, has 15 points, all on 3s.
Now,
Houston with the ball. They're out of timeouts.
Here we are again. Under a minute to go, up 4. We don't want to see what happened in regulation happen again, so get a good defensive stand here.
Roberts going to work on Flory. Jump hook misses wildly. Long rebound kept alive by Houston on a long tap out by Tugler. Uzan a 3. Misses. Flory had it, lost it, but Griffin scoops it up, and now KU has the ball with a 5-second differential on the shot clock to game clock, and they will indeed foul Ryland Griffin.
And is there a hotter player than Ryland Griffin? Hasn't attempted a free throw today, but I love the fact that he's going to the line for 2 right now, up 4, 28 seconds to go.
I love the fact that it's 2 and not a 1-and-1 because he's only attempted 13 of them all year. That's what makes me a little nervous, but you're right. His stroke is pure, his confidence is high, and the first free throw is good. Nothing but nylon. Kansas up 5.
Already a 2-possession game, but you can build this out to 6, which is going to force Houston to take a 3 down here. You get a rebound, and let's night this one.
Both free throws good for the young man who's tied his career high in 3s. He also hit 5 threes versus North Carolina in March Madness.
A little bit of pressure just to slow him down a little bit.
25 seconds to go. Hawks by 6. Houston's Cryer in the corner. A desperation 3. Misses. Rebound Harris. And a quick foul. It's going to be KU ball. Free throws coming. Hawks up 6. And the party is underway here in the Fog.
Playing through adversity. Things don't go your way. Houston goes on a big run. You come all the way back. You squander a 4-point lead under a minute to go. Don't get the call on Zeke Mayo, but you don't put your chin down. You don't sulk. You come right back at an overtime. Now have outscored Houston 13-7 in this overtime with an opportunity to put it away and make it a 3-possession game. DeJuan Harris at the line.
Misses the first free throw. Missed it short, right on line, but you'll forgive him if he's a little bit gassed. He's logged a ton of minutes here today.
And done an unbelievable job on L.J. Cryer.
Missed them both.
Wow.
Can't forgive that. But
contagious.
Rebound Houston. Here come the Cougars down 6.
They got to
Uzan all the way inside. Curls the pass out to Sharp. Desperation 3. Good. And they cut the deficit in half with 7 seconds to play. Ryland trying to get it in. And what's the call? Timeout, Bill Self.
Yeah, does not want that to happen again on the 5 seconds. So he goes to Marcus Pettigrew and calls timeout. Now, whole nother ball game. Back-to-back misses by DeJuan Harris. We saw that last time, in the Iowa State game where DeJuan was just awful at the free throw line, which he's been so good throughout his career. All he needed was one of those, and we can go grab a post-game cocktail, but made it a little more difficult. 7.5 to go, still a ball game.
Like I said, you can forgive the first miss. He's played 41 minutes tonight, okay? But you got to hit one of the 2. And so suddenly, now you're going to need to get it in, and you're going to need to hit at least one free throw.
And
Houston.
you try to get Rylan Griffin open, so set a series of screens. Probably not going to see Flory Badunga on the floor unless he's all the way at the other end. You try to get Rylan open. Don't have a timeout left, so
no more 5-second calls. That's the one thing we can't have happen. Mayo had that happen at the end of regulation.
I thought they were going to call DeJuan Harris before the ball was thrown, and he got tackled over in the left corner. They didn't call it, and Bill Self, his clock in his head was like, all right, it's 3 seconds. We got to take a timeout.
Deke Coit comes on for Kansas.
Diggy made a couple free throws here in the second half. So you're going to have Zeke Mayo throwing it in. He can run the baseline. Hunter Dickinson at the Houston free throw line. He'll be the screener.
Hawks by 3, 79-76, 7.5 seconds to go. Zeke running the baseline, looking, lobs, it's broken up, Houston steals it, they go for the tie, and hits! Zeke Mayo threw it away. Here comes Kansas, 3 seconds to play. Mayo for redemption, no! And we're going to a second overtime on an unbelievable, indefensible turnover. And KU has to live for 5 more minutes to grind it out again. Houston with a 6-0 run in the final 7 seconds forces 5 more minutes. What in the world was going on that entry pass?
Yeah, Hunter didn't come meet the ball. They got a hand on it, and the worst thing that could have happened was a scrambled play like that because you're not set defensively. You could have fouled, but he hits the 3, and with no timeouts, Kansas has to take a desperation 3. Hunter was kind of fading away. It was a poor pass by Zeke Mayo, and Wilson, once again, the Jayhawk killer. Hunter kind of retreated instead of going to meet the pass. You have to be strong, go meet the pass, and everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. You got DeJuan Harris missing 2 free throws when you're up 6. Game's over. They hit a 3. You have to burn your 1 timeout, can't get it in by Bill Self, and then you throw it away. So back-to-back final minute breakdowns by Kansas.
Houston back from the dead twice. I guess Cougars are cats and cats have 9 lives, but twice they looked extinguished and Kansas couldn't close. Give the Cougars all the credit in the world for rallying when it looked like they were on life support. We paused 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball. $79 all. To a second overtime we go, and what is becoming an instant classic. But if Kansas can't win this, they will think back on 2, you hate to say it, but choke situations in the final minute of regulation in the first overtime. Tossing the tap, won by Flory over Tugler, and KU will bring it up with DeJuan Harris. 79 all, each coach armed with a new timeout. Mayo on the right wing, covered up there by Uzan. Will kick it out to Harris. Griffin steps through, throws on the run, misses, but he's fouled. He had a chance to lob it to Flory for an alley-oop. Went for the shot instead. He was going to have to earn him the hard way.
Yeah, he was getting pushed right there, so smart play to throw it up even though it's the double bonus. Ryland's been the star of the half along with Flory.
Foul's going to be on Wilson, his 3rd. The foul trouble to monitor involves the 2 bigs, 1 on each side. Badunga has 4, Roberts has 4. Both teams with a key player as the free throw misses from Rylan Griffin. Both teams with a key player right now straddling foul jeopardy. And Griffin, hey, if he's attempted 50 free throws, these are no big deal. But like I said, he'd only attempted 13 all year coming into tonight. And his previous attempt, he'd had a couple at TCU. He misses both. And there's a fight for the rebound. And a foul's going to be called on Flory. And if so, he just fouled out.
Oh, my God.
If they call that on Flory, he's done. And it was Marcus Pettigrew on the foul. Bill Self, despondent, cannot believe it. He was fighting to get around a Cougar. And they have just fouled out KU's most impactful player on a box-out free throw.
Double overtime. Oh, my gosh. And they got the rebound. Could have just gone the other way, and that's the same official that didn't call the 3-point opportunity. Roberts will go to the line, though, so wow.
Roberts, a 55% free throw shooter. Got it to fall. It crawled all the way around the iron and fell through. Rylan Griffin's 2 misses from a guy who's the best pure shooter on the team go right on that long list, an increasingly growing list of KU falters in the clutch. Second free throw misses, rebound Mayo. 1 point Houston lead, 4:42 to go in double overtime. 80-79 Houston. AJ Storr has come on for Bidunga and will play likely the rest of the way. Storr dribbling out front, thought about a 3, passes off to Zeke. Mayo on a drive, picks up his dribble at the free throw line. 8 seconds on the clock. Griffin stumbles, Sharp manning up on him. Storr's gonna drive, fades, fires, misses. Rebound Houston, and that was not close.
Yeah, nothing going that possession. Everything was retreating from the basket. AJ had to take it, but no offensive rebound there with the absence of Floyd Bidunga.
80-79 Houston. Cougars with the ball. Uzan dribbling out top. Slings it to Tugler on the right short corner. Hunter pokes it loose from behind. Sharp comes up with it. 6 to shoot. Sharp dribbling 35 feet for the bucket. A desperation 3. Good. And their best shooter from downtown, who'd been quiet all night, buries a triple to put Houston up 4 with 3:38 to go. Kansas in danger of one of their worst collapses in a big game in memory. Down 4 with 3:30 to play. Harris gets a screen from Dickinson. Tugler poking at the chest of Dewan. Zeke on a drive, bumped offline, spins, leans in, throws it up, gets it to crawl home. He thought he was fouled, hasn't got a call all night, but the bucket's good, and KU down 2.
Boy, did you need that one.
15,000 come to their feet. 83-81 Houston.
Here's a tough guard for AJ Storr against Roberts out top.
Roberts to drive, kicks to Uzan for 3. Good.
Yeah, and that's Roberts right there. You got to respect him. There was guys to help, and that left a wide open shooter in Uzan.
5-point Cougar lead. Hawks with the ball. 86-81 Houston. Dewan a drive. He floats, misses a runner. Rebound Cougars. This is looking bleak with 2.5 to go in the second extra session. Uzan will walk it up and milk the clock. 86-81 Houston. You just never see Kansas collapse like this at home. Uzan picks up his dribble. Inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock, he finds Sharp. Down to 5 to shoot. Sharp, another heave. Misses. Long rebound, Griffin. Here comes Kansas. Hawks down 5. Zeke has it stripped by Sharp, laying on the ground. Zeke had it taken away. No foul call. And Mayo, with a forgettable game, is pointing to Kissinger on where on his wrist he thinks he was hit. 86-81 Houston, 1:51 to go, and Kelvin Sampson wants him to milk that clock. Cryer, right side to Sharp for 3. Misses. Long rebound out to Houston. It was kept alive by Tugler. They get a fresh 20 seconds. Bill Self imploring his guys to lock down. Get that stop with 90 seconds to play. Kansas down 5. Cryer off a screen. Gets airborne. Intercepted by Storr. Here comes Kansas. Mayo to the cup. He's fouled. He scores. It's a chance at 3 for Zeke Mayo.
Just what the doctor ordered, a steal, a live ball turnover. Zeke gets the and one, clearly a foul. He'll have a chance to make this a 2-point game. Things were looking bleak. Hit a couple threes, and the turnover by Cryer. He got airborne, had nowhere to go. Good defense once again by DeJuan Harris. Frustrating Cryer all night.
When you add in the 5-second call and the turnover on the entry pass, this has been the most frustrating game of Mayo's brief Jayhawk career. But he's got to find a way to rise above that here and complete the 3-point play.
You got to have a short memory.
1:17 to go. This could pull the Hawks to within 2. He hits it. That's clutch. Way to go, Zeke. 86-84 with 1:17 to play in the second overtime. They get it into Uzan, who will bring it up the floor with Rylan Griffin guarding him bounce for bounce.
And they're not going to be in any rush either. You might think about maybe fouling Roberts.
Roberts, a jump hook, misses short, gets his own rebound, stripped down low, right back up and in though. And Houston goes up 4 with 58 seconds to play.
He kind of took a wild shot early in the clock, thought it was a break for Kansas, but unable to corral the rebound. Roberts goes right back with it.
And they're going to go to the monitor on something here.
Probably the clock.
Zeke got the initial strip but didn't secure it. Roberts came up with the carom and laid it in.
Yeah, nobody put a body on Roberts.
So Roberts now
I think
with 24 points.
I think what they're looking at, when Hunter Dickinson went to block the shot, he missed the ball and made contact with Roberts' head. I think they're looking at that. I don't think it's a clock issue. And if this is called, man.
I mean, they will riot on Massachusetts Street.
He was going after the ball. He just missed it and made contact with Roberts' head. So they're going to say common foul. Excuse me, no foul. No
After review, the time is correct on the clock.
Okay.
58.0.
It was time. But as I watched that replay, it was definitely contact above the shoulders.
88-84 Houston. They've not taken the timeout off the board yet here. I thought Bill Self had called one.
No, I think the officials called a timeout.
Okay, well, obviously they had a review, but they were already going to their respective benches before they even called for that, so 58 seconds to go. Kansas down 4. Can they overcome 2 colossal collapses in regulation and overtime, in which they had a 4-point lead inside a minute to play, but had 2 massive turnovers by Zeke Mayo trying to play the ball in?
So now what you got, you can't be slow. You got to get something quick, because if you use the whole shot clock, then it turns into a foul fest, and you got to look to find Roberts as he's over there on AJ's score. But you got to get a quick bucket. Doesn't have to be a 3.
They get it in, and Zeke Mayo will sprint down the right side of the floor. Hawks down 4 in overtime. They do indeed still have a timeout. Griffin fakes on a 3, pulls up, finds Harris. He'll drive right baseline, gets inside, hooks a pass to Store, and he's pushed immediately, and will get a couple of free throws as both teams are in the double bonus.
Yeah, you'll take that. Clock stopped. A couple free throws. AJ missed 2 in the first half. He'll go back to the line. He's got the big goose egg tonight, 0-6 from the floor. Missed both of his free throws, but these are huge.
This is where you see the mental toughness of a player. Can you overcome the fact that you've not hit a shot all night? Flush it, but he bricks it. This one misses strong and to the left. One more coming. Houston had all the free throw clankers early in the second half. Kansas has not been clutch ever since. Second free throw also misses. Inexcusable. And you think about the 2 Harris misses earlier that led to a chance for Houston, and now a quick foul by Griffin with 39.8 seconds to go.
Free throws were such a story in the middle of the game. At one point, Houston was 0 of 8 in the second half. Kansas was 6 of 6, and that was the difference in the game, and now it's come back to bite us.
The fact that Harris missed 2 at the end of regulation that could have made it a 3-possession game, could have put this thing on ice. Store just comes up non-clutch there, 0 for 2. Uzan, meanwhile, a pure swish, and it's up to a 5-point Houston lead.
I thought you had a little life when Mayo got the and one, got it back to a 2-point game, and then Roberts took kind of a wild shot, but got it back, and that's what they do so well. They didn't do it in the first half, but Roberts threw it up, got it back, got the bucket, and now we're looking at a 5 or 6-point deficit as he makes them both 6-point.
90-84 Houston. Can Kansas log a Houston-like comeback? 40 seconds to play. Harris up the floor, jump stop, curls, shoots, misses. Dickinson fighting for the board, can't get it. Houston's got it.
Got a foul.
And Kansas has to foul immediately or this game's going to end quick. And there's a foul of Sharp.
Yeah,
this will go down as one of the biggest collapses because they did it not once but twice. And fans will point to the missed call by Marcus Pettigrew on a Zeke 3, but the bottom line is the Jayhawks missed free throws. They struggled twice to get the ball in bounds in key situations at the end of regulation and the end of the first overtime. This may be one of the most difficult to stomach losses I can recall in the 22-year tenure for Coach Self at Kansas.
Yeah, no question about it. Multiple collapses, makes a free throw here. You got a 7-point game. All hope is probably lost at this point, but here's the difference. They're up 6 with 24 to go. Their guy makes it, our guy missed it, and that's why we're at where we're at. And you play with fire, you're going to get burned, and that happened twice. As here they are, made back-to-back free throws, 4-4.
Down 8. It's a mass exodus of fans filing out. Zeke Mayo splits 2 defenders, hits a running layup to cut it to 6 with 18 seconds to go. They need a turnover on Houston's inbound play like Kansas gave Houston twice. Count them out. Uzan in trouble, barely got it in. Crowd was all over Kissinger to get a 5-second call. KU hasn't been able to get a foul here. They're trying not to foul Cryer. Gonna have to, though. We're down to 8 seconds. He passes ahead, and Houston's gonna win this game. The final 3 seconds come off the clock, and in one of the most difficult to stomach losses in the entire Bill Self era, Kansas falls in double overtime, 92-86. A difficult call, certainly fueled Houston late in regulation, but Kansas' own mistakes in crunch time at the end of the first session and the second as well lead to their demise, 92-86.
Yeah, turnovers, defense, just unable to put it away. Got to be able to finish, just didn't do it. I'm with you. I can't think of a more frustrating loss. He had it won twice and unable to pull through. And Houston now 8-0 in the league. Would have put Kansas right back in the mix. Unfortunately, unable to close. And back to the drawing board on Tuesday night against Central Florida.
Absolutely stunned are these Kansas fans as they walk out of here. You had the lead at the end of regulation, up 4 with 30 seconds to go. You had a 4-point lead. Heck, you had a 6-point lead with 7 seconds to go at the end of the first overtime. How does that math add up? But the same guy that struggled to get it inbounds at the end of regulation was the trigger man on an inbound play at the end of overtime. And you said it, Dickinson didn't come all the way to get the ball, but pass was a little bit telegraphed too from Mayo. And those 2 massive turnovers loom as large as any. Houston is carrying Malik Wilson off the floor. He was their spark plug energy guy early. But Kansas fans with their hands in their pockets head out of here. Some are just standing with their arms crossed in utter disbelief at what we just saw. Twice Houston pulls victory from the jaws of defeat. Twice a team that looked dead to rights rallies